Welcome to the Chords of Chaos, a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons campaign set in the Stone Age of our original homebrew world. I run this campaign for half a dozen groups and over 40 players, each group inhabiting different parts of the world at the same time, having different goals and generally doing very different things. Sometimes those goals are in line with each other, and sometimes groups find themselves at cross purposes and get hostile. Think Game of Thrones, where even though different characters might be doing different things at opposite sides of the world, it's all one story, and everyone's stories eventually converge on each other. PvP is possible in this world, and character death is both inevitable and usually permanent. This playlist is meant to be a repository for all the VODs of this campaign, but we play live on Twitch every Monday and Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, so feel free to follow me over there if you want to see us play live, and if you're interested in getting involved in the community or maybe even playing along with us, come join our Discord server. You can get the link in the description down below. This is the first session of the campaign and takes place with the Navali, the largest and most powerful tribe of humans in the world. They are also known for being quite brutal, storming other tribes' camps, killing mercilessly, and taking whatever they want. They do this not only for their own survival, but also to impress the gods with their strength and prowess. They believe that if they amuse the gods will show them favor. The main thing to understand about humans in the Stone Age of our world is that, unlike the elves and the dwarves, humans do not have the ability to cast magic. No human ever has. This is the main reason why humans, despite having the highest population in the world, are the least powerful and least advanced of all the races. That is, however, all about to change. Being that this is the first session of our campaign, and not only the first time we've used Foundry Virtual Tabletop for a game, but also most of our first times playing with an audience, there are a lot of technical issues and first session jitters on display. Just bear with it, or if you can't, skip to the next episode. Most of these issues have been worked out by then, and will only get better as we get more experience with our tools and performances. So, without further ado, welcome and enjoy. All right, here we are, episode 1 of the Chords of Chaos. For everybody who isn't familiar with the campaign at this point, the Chords of Chaos is a Stone Age campaign. We are starting off with the Navali, who are basically a hunter-gatherer tribe known for being extremely aggressive. They're known for being very warlike. They are the biggest tribe by a factor of 3. Like, the second most powerful tribal human group in the world has about 100 members. These guys have about 300. They're also known for being pretty crazy religious zealots who often use interpretations of what they see as signs from the gods to determine what they're going to go do. They also will throw themselves into crazy 1v10 scenarios just to amuse the gods, and they believe that if they amuse the gods enough, the gods will bestow favor upon them and keep them alive and keep them victorious and all that stuff. Right now, you guys are on a hunt. You are moving through the northern edge of the Tenor Forest. You're not too far from New Crescendo. Your camp is set up in the woods, fairly nearby. Some of the camp is just outside the Tenor Woods. They're spread out just a little bit. You guys are basically looking for, deer, boar, whatever you can get your hands on to help feed your tribe. We'll start with the guy up front, Sire Cap. Do you want to introduce your character?
Good afternoon. I'm Sire Cap, human barbarian. I'm looking for twigs, berries, and something to eat.
Twigs, berries, and something to eat. Yeah, right on. Degatoga.
I am sorry.
No, you're
I
good.
am Dega, the human paladin. I'm here supporting my son on one of his first true hunting trips out in the wild. Of course, I'm mainly here to slay great beasts in the name of the gods.
Exactly. Buckalasu.
Bukalasu is a young shaman apprentice under the Boneman in the Navali, and he is generally out seeking more information from the visions that he receives from smoking mushrooms and consuming them otherwise, and is generally known as a very unhinged individual.
And last but not least, Tanazal.
Hi guys, I'm a half-orc barbarian. I am Degatoga's son, who had a one night off with a orc priestess. Forgetting the name.
Maka.
Maker, that was it, Maker. Yeah, I'm here to prove myself worthy to the gods and to my family and to the tribe.
All right. So you guys are in the forest looking for any signs of life. Do any of you have survival as a proficient skill?
I do.
Go ahead and make anyone who has it. Go ahead and make a roll. Nice. Okay, all of you. So, Sirecap and Buckalasu, you both spot some tracks, kind of moving a little bit up north. Could be boar. Tanazal, you spotted as well.
Aluvan has blessed this hunt. We find boar today.
In the name of the gods, we shall slay this creature.
All right, you guys.
Bukalasu is going to follow the tracks and nod to the others to follow.
Perfect. So, the Tenor Woods are known to be fairly peaceful. There's not really a lot of ghost stories here like there is in the Fermata Forest where the elves live. Occasionally there are some spooky sounds and stuff that makes you guys think there might be more than meets the eye to these woods, but for the most part you feel pretty safe hunting in these lands, and you're not too worried about anything. As you continue to move through, you do make note there's birds up above in the trees. Could be some good place to find some bird eggs, or a nest or whatever. There's also in addition to tracks, you've noticed, because all of you except for Degatoga rolled really high, you notice some broken branches here and there. It looks like some animals might have rubbed themselves on a tree, broke off some bark, that kind of thing. What direction would you guys like to move? The tracks continue to kind of follow this little path up north.
Bukalasu is going to just follow the tracks for the time being, but keep his eyes on to either side of the path. Would investigating that tree to see what kind of creature is passing through warrant any information?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and roll a survival or nature, whichever you think is more appropriate. That's a good roll.
Indeed.
That's where we need to go. Let's keep it up.
Perfect. So, yeah, you think you spot a boar here.
Okay. We
Yeah.
shall be providing much for our people.
And in fact, as you move forward a little bit, out from under a tree, you spot a boar.
Can we tell if it's like a baby boar or the adult boar?
It looks like it's a good-sized boar. Could probably feed a good family or two for a few days at least, if not longer.
Bugalisu is going to turn around to the other tribal members and say, "Which among you shall kill this boar?"
I'm here to prove myself to the tribe. I'll take the first crack.
Then go with the blessing of Aluvan.
Okay. Do you want to use stealth, or are you just gonna charge in? What do you want to do?
How far away is he roughly?
The boar is let's see. Yeah, about 30 feet away.
I could try and stealth up to him actually.
Sure.
Got decent stealth.
Go ahead and roll a stealth check. Okay. You're moving forward. You can move yourself about 15 feet closer to the boar when you start crunching on some twigs, and it gets the attention of the boar almost certainly here. Let's see. Yep, just barely, but it hears you and it starts taking off. What would you like to
We're
do?
gonna have to chase after it.
So the chase, boys.
On with the hunt.
Bugalisu is going to start sprinting after it.
Okay. Who's going to start sprinting after it?
Bugalisu.
Who else? Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I'll keep up as well.
I'll keep up as well. Keep
Okay.
with the group.
Everybody roll athletics checks.
That's better.
Okay. Okay. most of you are actually doing quite well. The boar is typically much faster than you guys, but some of you are moving up quite rapidly. Y'all are welcome to move yourselves. You can move yourselves, let's say 30 feet plus your roll total.
I might actually have to refresh mine.
That's fine.
My screen is frozen. I can do all the skills and stuff, but I can't actually move my token. He's like frozen halfway from the last one.
Yeah, just hit F5. You should be fine.
Yeah, it's refreshing now.
Cool. So
Sorry, Twig.
no, you're fine. Sire Cap, you're pretty close to it. You're not quite melee range yet, but if you wanted, you could maybe throw something at it, or
Yeah, I'm gonna toss some gem. Seems like find it interesting.
sure. Go ahead and make a roll. Perfect. You hit it with your javelin. Go ahead, roll damage.
Stand back.
You already hit, so you just gotta roll it. Okay, cool, perfect. All right. So you hit the boar. It squeals, and it takes off running again. It's got a large javelin sticking out of its back, though. You see it run into the bushes up ahead, and you're pretty sure it's badly wounded here.
I will give chase.
All right, cool. So you all kind of move into position, and then just
As Bugalosu moves up, he's going to say, "Be careful, brothers. Likely, this boy's not alone."
We shall not leave our weapons unsheathed while not bloodied, brother.
and then once you move into place, just hold tight for a second. All right, so Sire Cap, go ahead and roll a perception check. Okay. All right, so you spot the boar. It's kind of huddled away near these bushes, not too far away from you. And you start to root your way in there, and just as you're about to strike, you see a wild saber-toothed tiger up above you, ready to pounce. It looks like it's going for the boar rather than you. What do you do?
I'm gonna yell out and say, "Big cat," and just ready to hammer.
All right. I'm going to add y'all into combat mode, but before I do, you can move up to your speed if you'd like to move yourselves into position for something.
Today is a good day to die.
I want to take on the cat. Where's the cat? He's heading towards the thing, isn't he?
Yeah, you can see where Sire Cap is looking. It's a little bit northwest of you guys, or northeast. Sorry.
A little bit up on the ridge.
All right, I'm gonna move y'all into combat mode, and everybody hold tight for a second. And let's roll. Nice. Okay, Sire Cap, you actually get to go first. You spotted it just in time.
Excellent. Just because it's closer, I'm gonna take a hit at the boar.
Nice. Okay.
Food comes first.
That is definitely a hit. That is a good amount of damage for sure. Let's see here. Get some mood music going here.
I was terrified I just crashed there.
No, you're good. All right. Yeah, with one swing of your hammer, you basically bring it down on its side, and it basically you slam it straight into the bushes, and it just gets tangled up in there, and you hear it squeal really loudly, and then it goes completely limp. It is dead. It's the boar's turn, but the boar doesn't get a turn. The boar's dead. Bukalasu, what do you do?
Bugalasu is going to step up next to Degatoga and touch him on the shoulder, looking up at the large, vicious, fearsome cat, and say, "The sun god be with you, brother," and then cast guidance on him.
Right on.
Thank you, brother. To status with you.
And that's his turn.
Okay, perfect. Degatoga, your turn.
Degatoga is going to... Can I please roll an animal handling check to try and calm down said big cat?
You can try.
guidance. Before each spell ends, target rolls a d4 ability check, so I can do.
That is not going to do
Eh,
it.
could have been worse.
It just kind of growls at you. Just it's about ready to pounce. But Tanazol, you get a turn first.
Awesome. Well, after laughing at my dad for trying to go, here, kitty, 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 I'm going to draw out my 2 hand axes, go into a blind rage, and just leap at it.
Beautiful. Okay, it's a little bit up on a ridge right now. You could try to like leap and like jump swing at it if you want, or you could try climbing up the ridge first. It's up to you. Or you could throw something at it. Whatever you want to do.
Actually, I'll throw both my hand axes at it.
Oh, nice. Okay. Go ahead and roll. That will hit for sure. Roll damage on the first axe.
Nice. Normal damage, yeah, not critical.
No, that was a natural 20, so that's a critical hit.
Cool. There we go. Nice, even 10.
So you throw your first axe, and it just cracks him straight in the shoulder blade, and he immediately stumbles off of that critical and lands on his side, knocked prone.
Nice. I don't suppose I can charge up to hit him with my next axe, or does it have to be consecutive?
No, you can move. Yeah, you can move in between for sure.
Cool. So I'm gonna charge in there. I don't get my modifier, so it's
Okay, a critical hit and then a critical failure, both at the same time. Okay, you charge up towards it, about to bring your axe down on it, when it suddenly bucks, and that big ass smacks you straight in your gut, and you stumble backwards, actually into Degatoga, and both of you go prone, briefly.
I forgot to say, because I raged, isn't it a 2 to the damage? I forgot to click rage beforehand.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, I can add that for sure. Okay, cool. Now it is the
Tiger's
tiger's
just going
turn.
to give some very disapproved stares at his son. No words, just very disapproving stares.
The tiger gets up, kind of shakes it off. It's bleeding out of its left shoulder, and it goes right for Tanazol, who just hit him. And Tanazol, you're on your back. It comes down with a bite straight for your head, essentially.
Nice.
That's a 12. That just barely misses. So its jaw clamps down towards your head. You basically bring up your axe and you jam it in its mouth and just like hold it back just barely. Those giant fangs trying to clamp down on you. You're struggling, but you keep it at bay. All right.
Somebody come and get this cat off me.
Sire Cap.
Okay, Sire Cap was watching all of that, and he just kind of rolls his eyes and mutters, "Here, kitty, kitty," and he's gonna circle around and take a hit with the hammer.
All right. You can feel free to move up and roll your attack. That'll hit. Go ahead, roll damage. That's a good hit. Yeah, you run up with your maul while it's struggling with Tanazol, and you just swing overhead, slam down on its spine. It crumples to the ground. It gets back up, but now Tanazol's no longer in any danger. He's able to scoot back just a hair, get out of those jaws. The tiger is quite injured at this point. Oh, weird. The tokens are bugging out just slightly. I think if you F5, that'll stop. That's a weird bug. I've experienced that before, but not in a while. Yeah, we're good now. All right. Okay. Next turn is the boar is still dead. Buckalasu.
Buckalasu is going to charge forward with his shield in front and reel back with his fist and say to the saber-toothed tiger, "Consume the rage of my people," and try and shove his fist into the mouth of the saber-toothed tiger, casting Inflict Wounds.
Nice.
Inflict Wounds. Boop. Yep. Does a 21 hit?
That absolutely hits.
For only 6 damage.
All right.
6 damage. Gotta go.
So you basically punch this guy in the face, and as you do so, you feel pretty powerful hitting this guy in the head. To your teammates, it doesn't really look like much more than you punching him in the head, though. There doesn't seem to be any crazy spell going on here, but to you feel it for sure. All right, Degatoga.
I'm going to move towards the head of the tiger. I'm going to take a swing at its head with my battle axe.
Nice.
Roll for attack.
That is a miss.
The dice hate me today.
What was that? The dice do?
Dice hate me today.
Yeah, you swing at the tiger's head. It actually doesn't move backwards. It actually moves forward, and so it winds up being like you kind of hit it with like your fist, sort of the haft of your battle axe. It doesn't really do anything, and it gets its jaws like right up on you. Tanazol, your turn.
Okay, so I'll stand up because obviously I'm still lie down, aren't I? I've got no weapons, so I'm just gonna dive on top of the cat and grapple it.
Nice. Okay, cool.
Remind me again, grapple's just a straight up strength check.
Yeah, that's fine.
Checks. I think I'll get a +2 as well from rage.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah, cool.
That's definitely a hit.
Cool. I'm grappling it. I might try and whack its head into the wall as well.
Okay. So you basically get behind it, put it in a chokehold, and try to like slam its head into the rock face there. Go ahead and I'll give you a second attack for that. Go ahead, roll specifically for the attack. I think you got an unarmed strike.
It's normally like a straight 5 damage, I think. That's what it's got on the.
Is it a Oh, for the grapple, like off the
Oh, no,
off the
just
first.
unarmed. It just got a 5 next to me on my character sheet. So unless
Oh,
you
I
want to,
see. Right. You don't have to roll for that, right? Because it's just
yeah,
it's just your
straight
strength.
5
Okay,
damage.
yeah, that works. All right, you get it in the chokehold. It's trying to bite Degatoga, but you literally wrench this tiger off of him and slam his head heartily into those rocks. It pretty much brains itself, chips a tooth off of one of those rocks, and now it's his turn. He tries to buck out of your grapple. So go ahead, roll a. Actually, I'll let you keep your 22 there, and I'm gonna give him a strength check. That is not going to do it. He tries to. He can't get out of your grapple, but he's still got those massive jaws. He's gonna try to bite you, but I'm gonna give him a disadvantage to that. That's still a 14. I think that that just barely hits. He gets one of those teeth around your right arm and tries to clamp down on that sucker. He does a good amount of damage. He does 7 damage to you.
oh, that's almost half health. Then.
Yeah, he basically clamps one of those giant saber-toothed teeth onto your forearm, and it goes right through. You're bleeding pretty bad out of that arm now. It hurts like a son of a bitch, but that's about all it's been able to muster so far. You guys are kicking this thing's ass. Sire Cap.
Oh, it's going to be the mall.
Okay.
I'm assuming I still have kind of a clear shot. I'm a little crowded over here.
You could get right in front of it. Tanazol's arm is wrapped around its neck, so there's a little bit of trickiness to that, but it's still a big ass head, so I'm not going to give you disadvantage or anything. You can pretty much feel free to roll normally. That will hit. That'll hit hard. You pretty much overhand that maul straight into the top of its head. Cracks right in his forehead. You see his eyes kind of go cross-eyed there. He is not dead, but there's blood streaming down its face now. It's snarling and snapping and trying to get out of Tanazol's grip. But you guys are the fucking Navali. You've got him locked down right now. Buckalasu.
Mugalasu is going to leap onto the tiger's back and try to scoop his fingers into the tiger's eyes as he casts Inflict Wounds again.
Whew.
Yelling at the beast. That did not roll. Oh, okay, there we go. Does a 20 hit?
A 20 hits.
Okay, for
That's a bit of damage.
14
Jeez.
necrotic damage.
All right. You're jamming your fingers into his eye sockets, basically.
Yes.
All right. You do so, and you immediately feel like a heat going through your fingertips. His eyes immediately start wilting and withering like bad fruit. His eyes they don't melt, but it's like they go bad like rotten apples and stuff, and you can now see into those eye sockets. It just moans freaks out for a brief second and then just goes limp in Tanazol's grip. It is dead. You guys messed that guy up.
Nothing can stand before the Navali.
Sire's gonna stand there and make this kind of quiet connection between the bushes we're fighting in and what he just did to the saber-tooth.
Okay.
Another page for the book.
Yeah, just gonna grab a handful of leaves there and head over to the board.
Boogalasu is going to take the eye socket blood on his hand and rub it all over his face just very slowly.
I think Tanazol's kind of picked up that cracked off tooth as well. That's going to be a nice memento.
I'm going to rush over to my son and attempt to cast. I'm not really. I'm going to do lay on hands. It's like I'm going to say to him, "Do not leave the light yet, son. You have much more fighting to do."
Tanozol, most impressive wrestling.
Thank you, Father. I learned it from my mother.
Yes, your mother is very large.
Let me just talk to the right person.
Sire's gonna collect the boar's tusk and do a little carving of his snout to offer it up.
Degatoga, you lay your hands on the wound of your son, and almost immediately it stops bleeding, and you could feel the power kind of coursing through you, and it just starts slowly closing the wound. It's not quite fully healed, but it feels a lot better for him. There's quite a lot of meat here now if you guys bring the saber-toothed tiger back to camp as well.
Oh yeah, I want to be carrying that back.
Yeah, it's a heavy boy. It's a heavy boy, but if you guys want to, you could probably do it.
I can
Who
carry.
has the highest strength?
Mine's 18.
I'm an 18. I could carry either one. I think.
Yeah, Buka's a 16.
Cool. Yeah, I mean that's fair. You guys don't have to roll for it. You guys are strong enough. You can bring that.
Yeah.
Drag that guy back.
Buka's gonna grab up the boar. That's probably a one-man job, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Strong guys like you, absolutely. So
you know what we are.
if you guys wanted to, you can wait till you get back to camp, but you've got tusks and long saber-toothed tiger teeth, pelts. You can harvest some of this stuff now if you want, or you can wait till you get back. If you wait till you get back, you're probably sharing it with the rest of the tribe. It's entirely up to you.
Yeah, I might want to take that other tooth.
Okay.
Make a couple of tooth daggers. I know I need to fix a hand axe. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm gonna collect the tusks and carve out its heart to make an offering to the gods.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say I want to take the heart for Daestrus.
Nice. Okay, cool. So
Bukalasu is going to try and see what's left of the eyes on the saber-toothed tiger because he would have noticed that happening, and he's going to sort of investigate that. Is there like a withered husk, or is it just jelly, or what's left?
imagine a couple of grapes about 4 months after they've long been past ripe. They just smell bad, and
Okay.
they don't even look like eyes anymore.
Okay, he's going to yank them out and cut them out of the eye socket if need be, and store them in just a pouch at his hip.
Cool. I'll make a note of that for you, or go ahead and make a note of that for yourself. That's fine. We'll handle that later.
DM question regarding the map.
Please.
On the bushes that I'm standing in, those
Mhm.
little yellow things, are those just leaf coloring or are those berries?
Those are berries.
I'm gonna grab a handful of berries.
Nice. Do a nature check on those. Yeah, they're you identify them. They're edible berries. You can definitely eat those. And there's a good amount of them in that bush.
Yeah, a couple handfuls.
Cool.
Snack time.
All right. Do you guys want to continue hunting? You've probably got more than enough meat. You got, with that saber-tooth tiger especially, you've got way more meat than you expected to get out here. Would you guys like to head back to camp at this point?
About how far away are we?
It'll probably take you about till nightfall to get back to camp. You've been out for a few hours already, so it's getting pretty late in the day.
Well, we've got to get the meat back before it spoils, right?
Yeah.
Let us head back, my brothers. We are carrying too much to hunt anymore, and we do not want to be left out here before it gets dark.
Sire says, with a mouthful of berries.
Nice.
Book is gonna grab the boar and shoulder it. Start
Nice.
walking.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll pick up the saber from the head end.
All right.
I'll walk out front and look pretty.
Okay.
I'll go take point.
Cool. You don't have to move your tokens just yet. I'm gonna move us to the next map. Let me know once you guys are in.
I'm in.
I'm in.
Good to go.
Is that everybody at this point?
No, I'm not.
Okay,
in.
cool.
Continue without me for a minute.
Sure. Okay. So it takes you guys a little while to get back to camp, but once you get there, it's nightfall. You're pretty good in these woods. You've kind of trucked along through here many times for quite a few years, and the Navali have a nice little area where they like to set up camp, especially Chieftain Zando and the Boneman, who are Chieftain Zando is the leader, like the official leader of the tribe, and the Boneman is sort of the religious shaman leader. He doesn't really give orders, but he interprets the signs from the gods, and even Chieftain Zando heeds his advice and rarely does different from what he says. So you could argue that he is, while not officially in charge, he may as well be. You guys drag the animals back to camp, and already there's a good fire going. You can see quite a few people have already kind of gathered around. Zando is just kind of sitting by the fire. He's that handsome gentleman up there. He's got a lady on one sitting on his lap, the other one just kind of tending to his hair, putting some bones in a braid. The Bone Man is already, it seems like he's the one preparing the fire. It's rolling, but he's kind of, it looks like he's doing some kind of ritual. Looks like some other hunters came back. You see some rabbits and squirrels and stuff. Nothing like what you guys brought back. He throws what looks like sort of sand into the fire, and it kind of explodes with blue and green sort of light a little bit. This seems to really impress the rest of the tribe. Until now, the only magic any of you have ever seen has come from the Bone Man himself. So the stuff that you guys were doing out there is new to you for sure. Those of you who have an animal over your shoulder, what would you like to do?
Boogalasu is going to set down the boar next to the fire.
Okay.
And then I'm just going to carry the saber-tooth in on my shoulders.
Nice.
Where do you want this?
One of the Navali tribesmen just kind of looks like astonished at this giant saber-tooth tiger that you're hauling in. Oh my, we're gonna have such a feast tonight. Quick, bring it into the yurt. I'll skin it and get it prepared. And so you do so. They do the same with the boar, although in another tent. And everybody's very impressed by you. And also by the fire is Maka, mother to Tanazal, and Degatoga. What's your relationship to her these days?
I think it was like, seeing as marriage hasn't really been a thing, it's like partner, kind of.
Yeah.
Partner is the correct term?
Yeah. I mean, if you guys are still in a good relationship and love each other. Yes?
We're on good terms, let's say that.
Good terms. Okay, sure. She kind of nods respectfully to Degatoga, but gives a little bit of an extra smile for Tanazol. But she knows you guys are coming in after a big hunt. She's not trying to coddle you or anything, so she just kind of goes back to watching the light show and the fire and whatnot.
Can I walk up to her and give her the heart, the saber-tooth?
Yeah, absolutely.
This is for you to offer the gods, mother. I've done you proud.
Go ahead and you can move your token up to her. You can feel free, as long as you can. I don't think any of you should have any trouble moving your token, so feel free.
You want to join and pop on the back and just congratulate him, essentially, with his mum.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna kind of totally fanboy stare at the Boneman.
Yeah, the Boneman's interesting. He is, like I said, he's kind of the religious leader here. Everybody believes that not just one of the gods, but all of the gods speak, either to him or through him. Now, he doesn't... he can't just kind of do it on command. There usually seems to be rituals involved. It's a lot of rubbing blood on chicken bones and throwing them into a plate or a fire or something like that, and kind of getting a vision. He smokes a lot of weed and he eats a lot of mushrooms, and that seems to be a big aspect of where he gets his power from. But as he sees kind of the stuff that you guys brought in, he seems pretty I wouldn't say in awe, but like pretty impressed by you guys for what you've done. And he just kind of respectfully nods, but kind of eyes the saber-tooth tiger as it gets brought into the yurt. Zando doesn't seem to. He's a man of few words. He doesn't really say anything to you guys.
Buka is going to approach the Boneman,
Mm-hmm.
and reaching into his pouch, pull out the two withered eyes of the saber-tooth tiger and say to him, "Boneman, I've seen many things. This I have not seen." And he hands over the two withered eyes to Boneman.
The Boneman takes them. He's kind of looking them over like he doesn't even really know what they are at first. These are eyes?
From the tiger. It looked upon us and withered.
How did this happen?
When I wrestled the beast, with the help of Tanozal over there, Great wrestler. I don't know if you've seen him. But
And you did
When
this... Sorry, go ahead.
when I stuck my hand deeply into its sockets, I felt something, as though the sun god were looking directly at me, and I felt a burning in my chest.
He slowly kind of nods at this. Can't quite figure out what to make of it. He kind of looks you over, but he takes the eyes, puts them in a little pouch on his waist, and just kind of nods. I must speak to the gods upon this. I will be back. And he goes into his yurt. Maka takes the you said you offered her the heart?
Yeah, I told her it was an offering for her to offer the gods.
She takes
For her service and made her proud.
She takes this heart in her giant orc hands. It doesn't look too terribly big, but she looks at it, looks it over, nods appreciatively, and also a woman of few words, but she says, "From the tiger?"
Yes, mother.
Very good.
Son did well this day.
This is the hardest enemy you've ever faced before.
I think it's the only enemy I've faced before.
I'm impressed. But don't get a big head about it.
I've got a scar on my arm to keep me in check.
She looks down at your at the scar on your arm and nods. You'll attract a mate before too long now.
Father healed this himself. I don't know how he did it.
She looks up at Degatoga and kind of tilts her head. What do you mean heal?
He
Power
touched
of
me with...
the power of the death god healed our son. I know not how.
It was the will of Daestrus.
She kind of pauses at this and looks back down at your arm and kind of wipes the blood of the heart on her skirt, and then grabs your arm and kind of looks it over. This can't... You've never had these abilities before. How'd you do this?
So I was trying to think that's my backstory. Fuck.
All right, fine.
As I said, I know not. Only the will of Daestrus. Perhaps our son is truly blessed in his name.
She just nods. Then we offer the heart to Daestrus. She goes into her own yurt, and when she comes back out a few minutes later, she has a knife made out of bone. It's pretty crude, but has a nice, very like sort of crudely filed down but sharp edge on it, and she cuts the heart. It's still raw. She cuts it into 3 pieces and hands a chunk to each of you. To Daestrus we eat this heart, so that we might take the death we gave him into our own soul. And she eats it raw.
And I'll do the same.
Yep, gonna follow.
To the gods, and then just shove the whole thing in.
Nice. Roll Constitution saving throws, or willpower, or willpower.
Got him.
Oh, right.
Constitution would.
So open your character sheet and
Constitution, I got it.
perfect, and then it should just offer you
Save or check?
save. But that's honestly the roll's fine as is. Oh, is that from your the boost or whatever? What's the 1d4 for?
Oh, I think. Oh, it's because I did.
I think it's just carrying over the guidance
Sure. Is
because
the
it's an ability check. Huh. Do you
yeah.
want to re-roll it? Because I didn't know it would do that.
No, it's fine. I can just use the 14 that you rolled and add the 1. You both passed. You both stomach that thing down like it's nothing. And you know, this is a significant, like, the religious symbology here. You guys are you know, you're not going to disappoint Daestrus. Surely this isn't the first heart you've eaten. Although Tanazol, I suppose it could be, but you're an orc, you're a half orc. You're not feeling disgusted by this or anything.
Oh god.
You
It's
both
not the first part I've eaten.
Yeah. So you both get it down and kind of give each other a nod and are feeling pretty good about yourselves at this point.
So if there's like a certain mark or symbol for Daestrus, can I use the blood that would be on my hand from the heart just to like draw
Say that one more time.
it on my chest? Is there like a mark or a symbol, like a symbol of Daestrus, like the tribe would use or recognise with Daestrus? I just want to like trace the symbol or like whatever it would be onto my chest with the blood that's on my hand.
Yeah, there's nothing super official. Your religion isn't sort of codified in any, you don't have like scripture or anything like that. It's, you feel like you understand Daestrus, and so there's basically any kind of symbol that like represents
Okay, I'll just
Daestrus
put,
to you
a
works.
red handprint over my chest then.
Yeah, perfect. Cool. Okay, so let me change the music here. So you guys, over the next couple of hours, you guys begin the feast. They bring out the chunks of meat from the saber-toothed tiger and the boar. A lot of this meat is getting kind of carted off to or hauled off to other Navali camps not too far from here. This is sort of the main camp. You guys are being honored for bringing such a large feast in. Other gatherers kind of went off and brought back, you know, berries, fruit, roots, things like that. So things are being boiled and kind of brought together. This is probably the best meal any of you have had for weeks. And the Navali eat pretty well, all things considered. But this day is a pretty standout day for you all. You're gathered around the campfire. A few tribes members have brought out flutes, drums, that kind of thing. People are dancing. People are humming along to the tune and all this, and it's a good night. This is what would you guys like to be doing during all of this? Whether that's, you know, if you have your own little thing you want to be doing, or if you're just chilling with the people and hanging out, or, you know, dancing or doing whatever you want to do.
I want to start fashioning them teeth into daggers, and I need to fix my hand axe as well.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
I have got a napping kit as well.
Gotcha. Go ahead and roll a napping check. Just one is fine.
There we go. 22.
Nice. Well, that was weird. Did Sire Cap and Tanazol both roll, or because I see Sire Cap pulled out the napping tools, but maybe you just had the wrong guy selected or something? I'm not really sure.
No, I used I went into my inventory for it.
Gotcha.
I'm not sure if he just brought it up.
This is Tanazol doing the check though, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
it's kind of
perfect.
doing the check
That's
to,
interesting. Okay. Yeah, you fashion a couple of bone daggers. We'll just use the same dagger stats, but you've got 3 daggers total now. And later on, if you still have those, I'll give you the after the session. I'll craft some special bone daggers for you.
Okay, cool.
All right. What about the rest of you?
I'm just hanging back, staring at the fire, relaxing. I'm studying those leaves that I got off that bush, and then just kind of gingerly tasting it, chewing it, rubbing it around.
Nice. Go ahead and roll a nature check for me. Give you some information about it. Okay. It's gonna maybe be a while before you figure anything out about these particular leaves and stuff. They're kind of bitter tasting. Hopefully they're not poisonous, but you don't feel any bad effects, so it's probably okay.
Yeah, I'm pursuing the connection between standing in the bush and touching something until it dies.
Yeah. All right.
Bukalasu, an intellectual, is going to be holding up his hand to the fire and just sort of imagining what it would be like if he were to ever take direct control of flames in the name of the sun god, and what it would be like to burn people alive.
Cool. Go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
Okie dokie. Check. Perception. Okay, as I navigate this thing. Oh, there it is. Okay. That would be a 17.
Nice. So, you're kind of checking out your hand, the fire, the light, trying to envision the significance of what happened to you today. You kind of look off in the distance a little bit, and you actually see many miles away, maybe 10 miles away, you see, looks like there's a bit of a storm brewing. You kind of watch it for just a minute. Storvo often sends storms when he's displeased with people, and because Chieftain Zando is such a lot of people think he might be the son of Storvo, personally. A lot of people think that Storvo is more than any of the other gods could be the main god of the Navali. But to be fair, they a lot of them get worshipped pretty equally. There's just special significance because of Zando with Storvo. But you watch these clouds for a few minutes, and it doesn't look like they're getting any closer. It kind of looks like they're maybe moving more northerly from your guys' position. So you're not too worried about it. You don't think Storvo's been like displeased or anything, and certainly with between the feast and the haul that you guys brought in, surely Storvo's got to be pretty happy with you guys. So someone else probably pissed him off.
Buka's gonna sort of smile to himself and think those thoughts about doing good deeds for the Navali, and just sort of sit there and anticipate the Boneman finding something or not with the eyes.
Mm-hmm. And who's last? Tanazol, or no, Degatoga. What do you want to do?
I am going to take my leave behind the one of my where I sleep, private. So I've just got the light on me. I'm going to, in private, so no one can see, remove the skull mask I wear and pull back the wolf head I wear on top of that. Pull out my water skin and take a swig, and then also use some of the water to clean out the empty eye socket that I have,
Nice.
just to compress it. And with some of the blood that I had left over from the saber-toothed tiger, I'm going to anoint my skull mask with just some symbols.
Nice. So, does nobody really see your like true face too often?
No, it's hidden. It's hidden behind a nice skull mask.
Cool. What about Tanazol? Does he see it?
Oh yeah, some family, of course, but no one else.
Cool. All right. Well, you go. None of you guys have your tents or yurts or anything here. It's in a. You've been invited to this feast, so you're hanging out here, but you kind of go off into the shadows and deal with this stuff. Everybody roll a perception check for me. Oh, wow.
Send out one for Boca.
That sucks.
That's 2 critical failures in a row.
Ooh, big oof.
Oh, you rolled with disadvantage?
I do roll disadvantage.
That's fine. You rolled a 6 anyway, so... okay, none of you quite rolled well enough.
We don't see shit.
You don't see shit. It's dark out. The fire's big and glowy. It's like, every time you look away from the fire, you see little spots on your vision and stuff. Probably a sign from the gods. You don't know.
I've only got one eye, so.
So the night kind of wears on, and some people kind of from other camps kind of come in, take some meat, to, have some chats, hang out a little bit, move along back. There's been some talk about that storm over the last few hours. It does kind of look like it's getting a little bit closer, but it doesn't really look like it's coming for you. It's not coming this way exactly. It's just kind of edging a little closer and closer as time goes on. At some point, people start going to bed. They start, they start doing this or that. A lot of the people who've come in kind of left to go back to their camps. So there's not that many people, about a dozen of you, give or take, in the kind of the campground area total. After a fashion, who was it? It was Sirecap making the, or Tanazol make. Oh, it was Tanazol making the bone teeth daggers. After a while, you managed to craft those. It's looking good. Yeah, you'll start to get a night's sleep if you want to take it around the campfire. It's quite an honor to be invited here by the chieftain, so probably none of you are looking too forward to going back to your own dinky, less honorable camp. Do any of you plan to stay awake during this period of time?
I do.
Okay.
I kind of want to go up to the chief. He said he has a couple of girls near him.
Yeah, absolutely.
And not to be that guy, but I want to start like showing off like the scar on my arm and regaling them all with the story of how I use my bare hands to choke the life out of a saber-toothed tiger.
Nice. Yeah, okay. Go ahead, move your token up to him. The Xando is definitely impressed by this, but he doesn't really talk much. He just kind of looks it over. He looks at you and he's just like, good. The girls on his arm seem a little bit more impressed, but they are the three of them are in a relationship together, so they're not about to stray and give you too much adoration. But you feel good. He doesn't tell you to fuck off or anything, so that's about as good as it gets with Xando. And then you kind of make your way back.
I like how Tad has all moved his token to be like right up in his face too.
It's probably to get out of the fire, like not be near the fire.
Look at my sky.
Leap across the fire. Look at that.
Maka by this point has gone into her yurt and is getting a good night's sleep. Maka is considered to be one of like the best warriors and hunters in the tribe, so she gets special privilege to be here, which means Degatoga probably has his could be in the same yurt as she is. I don't know if Tanazol lives with them or not. Families.
Oh, no. I've watched them wrestle before.
Gotcha.
I'm not doing
You
that
got your
again.
own. Okay, cool. So time goes on a little bit more. People trickle away into their own camps before too long. Or not, he's not there. Xando has left for the night, so it's getting pretty light. You haven't seen the Boneman ever since he went into his yurt, so you're not, he makes appearances every now and then, but oftentimes you don't see him at all. So what are the four of you doing at this point? Are you has anyone let's start with this. Has any of you gone to sleep?
No, Bukalasu is going to stay awake for a little bit longer. How late is it, DM?
It's probably equivalent of like 2 a.m.
Okay. Yeah, Bukalasu is just going to go to sleep near the fire,
Sure.
but not so near that he rolls in.
Right.
Accident.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. What about the rest of you?
Yeah, I'll do the same because I'm definitely going to need a short rest to get the rest of that health up.
Okay.
Sire walked up to the fire and reflecting on the hunt today, thinking about his dad, how we lost him, can't find him, and just kind of quietly reflect on that for a little bit. He'll back up a little bit, just kind of sit down, relax, lean up against the yurt, try to catch some sleep.
Cool. So it gets pretty late, and you're all kind of doing your own thing at this point, and let's say Sire Cap and Bukalasu, go ahead and roll perception checks again.
It's 23.
That's a good one. Bukalasu, you're kind of you're drifting in and out of sleep, but you kind of stir and you hear kind of a like little flapping of wings that kind of stirs you a little bit, and you kind of glance up and you see a small shape, probably a bird or something. Its wings are flapping in a way that suggests it's a pretty small creature, and you just kind of look up. It's hard to tell between the giant bonfire and the moon is out, but it's not really super illuminating. So you just kind of see this black shadow against the moonlight, and it's just kind of flapping and fluttering around in a way that doesn't seem very bird-like to you. It's kind of rapidly like zigging and zagging, and it's not making much noises aside from the wings flapping, though.
Okay. How far away is the bird?
It's maybe 30 feet above your head.
Bugalasu is going to take out his sling and find a nearby rock, kind of sitting up where he is, and spin it overhead and let loose a stone at the...
Okay. Cool. Go ahead, roll.
Ooh.
You
does a 7 hit?
It does not. You fling the sucker straight up at the sky. Who knows? Like 10 seconds later, you hear like a what the fuck?
But Buka hides the sling after that. Looks around.
But you see this bird is kind of zigging and zagging. It's kind of heading southwest out of camp, if you care.
Would Buka know what is southwest of camp or what is in the southwest part of camp?
Just assume that all the maps are always up is north. So,
Okay.
I apologize. I meant southeast.
Okay. Well, Buka's curious. He'll follow.
Sure. So you make your way kind of out of camp. And you see it's curious. This thing is kind of moving very erratically. You've never seen a bird move like this before. Roll a let's say a animal handling check.
Okay, a 14.
You start to realize it's very obviously not a bird. You're just kind of sleep deprived or just, you just got woke up and you're not thinking clearly. This is a bat, and you've seen bats before. I mean, they're not like mysterious creatures or anything, but you don't usually see them out in these parts, which is kind of curious. You're not quite sure what to make of that.
This is pre-germ theory, so I guess he wouldn't associate it. Okay. Would he know that they're from caves, or bats are only from caves, and right?
Yeah, you can probably know that for sure.
Okay.
So,
would he have known that there was a cave nearby previously, or is this just like a revelation, you think?
you don't, as far as you know, there's no caves nearby.
Okay. Is the bat still flying southeast?
Actually, you see it flaps all the way into this tree, this large dark tree. It's kind of hard to see in there at this point. The campfire isn't really, it's big in the campgrounds, but out here it's quite dark. And
Okay. Yeah, Bootlasu is a very curious individual, so he's going to go up to the tree and try to climb it to get up to the bat.
okay, as you kind of approach the tree, you suddenly see or more hear rapid tons of birds just flapping their way out of the tree, and you hear the tiniest bat squeak in there, and as you start climbing, go ahead and roll a climb check.
Okay. You want athletics or acrobatics?
Let's go with athletics.
Okay. That would be a 12.
Yeah, you start climbing up the tree, and you can the tree's kind of patchy. You can kind of see past it. You're looking up. You can see the stars. The storm is still 5-10 miles away, but there's not a cloud in sight otherwise. When suddenly lightning strikes the tree, and you feel it just rip to shreds.
That was awesome.
A massive, not fireball, but like burst of flame erupts from the trees, and you get hurled off of the tree. You land hard on your back, and kind of fall unconscious momentarily. Real quick, Sire Cap and, well, I guess all of you would probably have seen this. Sire Cap, roll a perception check. You probably don't know that Buckalasu just got hit by this thing, but well, go ahead and roll a perception check to see if you spot it, since you're in that area anyway. Yeah, you see it. That's a natural 20. Okay, yeah, you see it, and what do you do?
I'm going to see him. Do I see the actual lightning strike? Or
Oh
do I
yeah,
just
you
see him?
it comes out of nowhere, You probably, with that 20, you probably saw it arc sideways for miles from that storm cloud way out there, and then it just arcs straight down and slams into that tree. You've never seen anything like that before.
Okay, so Sire immediately makes a connection that lightning was coming after him specifically. I'm gonna head over to him, make sure he's all right.
Okay. And now for a brief second or a brief few minutes. Actually, we'll probably take a short break right after this. But if everybody but Buckalasu could jump into the waiting room, I need to do a little powwow with him privately, real quick, and then we'll take our break right after that.
Oh no! Oh no! Palms are sweaty.
All right, perfect. So, give me 1 second. Let me set up some things real quick. All right. So, lightning strikes. You get slammed onto your back. Almost immediately, you wake back up. And there's this kind of ethereal fog in the air. And you're just you're kind of smoking a little bit, like black steam coming off your skin.
So Boogaloo is going to try and pick himself up.
Mhm.
And you said his skin is black? Like if you looks down at his hand, he looks like he's just been scorched by a lightning
No,
bolt?
no. You're just smoking. Your skin
Oh, okay.
looks fine. In fact, you don't really feel any different. You feel kind of okay. There's clearly a sign that something happened to you. The tree in front of you, it's not on fire. It doesn't even really look like it'd been struck by lightning. As you kind of look back towards camp, you see your companions and Xando, the chieftain, all kind of sitting around the campfire, just kind of staring into it.
Buka's going to check his pouch and see how many mushrooms he has left, because this seems like something that would happen to him if he had consumed too many.
It's empty.
That tracks. Buka's going to nod to himself and be like, very well. I'm on this journey. And then turn around and start walking back to camp to look around and inspect if anything else is different about the area, and see if he sees any signs that he might have recognized in the past before.
So it looks familiar. It looks like the camp that you just walked out of. So no real surprises there. But you look over at Degatoga, who is just staring straight into the campfire. You walk up to him. He really shows no sign that you're approaching whatsoever.
Brother.
He doesn't. No response at all. It's like, in fact, he's almost statuesque. Like he's not really even breathing. He's not dead. I mean, he looks attentive, but he's not. It's like he's just kind of frozen in time.
Bugalasu kind of looks around and says to himself, of course. When the gods have blessed me, no one is here to see it. And then he'll go over to Sir Cap and see if he's in the same state.
Yeah, Sire Cap is as well, but you
Okay.
You glance over and you see Chieftain Xando is staring at you. And his eyes follow you as you move.
Buka is going to, respectfully keeping his distance, approach and stop a few feet off and nod to the chief.
Out from the shadows, a bat flies down and lands on Xando's shoulder. And he looks up at you. And then he looks over at the bat. And he looks back at you and he just says, "It's not a bat." He leans down and he kind of wedges his thumb and forefinger into the dirt at his feet. He's sitting down on the ground. He kind of wedges his fingers in there and he kind of forks out this small gemstone, kind of has to wedge it out of the dirt. It seems this gemstone's uncut, but it seems to cast a light all of its own. It's far brighter than any reflection of the light would justify. And it's bathing the world sort of in this crimson glow. He looks back over to the bat and he sticks it into the bat's beak like it's a seed. The bat slowly closes its beak around this gemstone, and as his mouth closes over it, the crimson light that this gemstone bleeds out vanishes, and as the bat chews, black blood drips from its mouth, coating its feathers like blood, and starts to, as it fully encapsulates and drenches the bat, it starts getting onto Xando's shoulder, who gives it just a gentle shrug and holds out his hand. The bat jumps off, lands onto his hand, and Xando just kind of gives it a little nudge up into the sky, and the bat flutters off into the sky, this time very much like a bird and not sort of erratically like you had seen before. But the little droplets of black blood on Xando's shoulder and palm begin to spread over him until his entire body becomes sort of bathed in shadow. And as the shadow overtakes him, you really can't see him anymore. He just kind of blends in with the rest of the shadow. This sort of black shadow blood seeps into the ground, and you can see it wilting away. Reminds you very much of that tiger's eyes from before. And as it continues to spread, it touches the campfire and puts it out, and shadow begins to creep outward in all directions so rapidly that you are actually worried you might not be able to get away. What do you do?
Bugalasu is the fire affected by the shadow?
You can see it moving, but it no longer casts any light whatsoever.
Okay. Not knowing what to do and looking at the shadow encroaching on everything around him, he's going to rely on what he believes is the way that Aluvan would want him to die, and he's going to leap into the fire.
Nice. So you move towards the fire when suddenly Sire Cap puts his hand out and stops you. And long before you could get there, he steps right in front of you. And you don't even really see the other two move, but suddenly they're sort of all in your way. And they all kind of reach out and just touch you on your shoulders, and Sire Cap kind of has his hand on your chest. And they're all just it's weird. They feel oddly supportive, but you're watching as this black blood stretches out. It's at this point, it's completely encapsulated the campground, the yurts, the trees surrounding it all, and you notice that it seems to be kind of consuming all of your vision. It spreads up into your friend's legs rises up. It gets on your feet, and now you try to resist it, but it's like it's worse than tar. You can't. It's like your feet are just stuck, like they're like inside stone or something. You just can't move, and it slowly pulls you, and is looking. It's not looking good.
Puka is going to, like, with the last amount of strength that he has or consciousness, he's going to be struggling against his tribe mates and say, "You must let me die."
They don't. It's just like with the fire before. They're just kind of staring at you. It's weird though that you don't feel they're not doing what you want, but you don't feel any malice from them. They feel like they are doing what needs to be done by you, and you. It's a little strange to you, but you kind of feel like they're your brothers now, if that makes sense. The black blood rises up your chest, goes around your neck. You can feel it oozing into your ears, and it's cold. It's ice cold. You've never felt this cold, even in the worst winter you've ever experienced. You could feel it rising, starting to cover your eyes. It's getting into your nostrils. It's going down your mouth, and you feel like you are drowning in it, and you do not know how you're going to survive this, but you do not want to be consumed by this, but there just doesn't seem to be anything you can do about it. But then suddenly, off in the distance, the sun crests the horizon and shines a single ray of light straight at you. And the black blood that was moments away from drowning you vaporizes like ash. It just smokes away. And along the whole path of the sun, everywhere it touches, this black blood seems to just turn to dust and ash and vanish. Everywhere else, though, you look, and it's the whole rest of the world is completely consumed by it. As you can now move, you know you can't leave this ray, so you just kind of look at the sun, and it's moving really fast towards the sky. You look up expecting to see that bat or bird or whatever that was. You expect to see that up there, but now directly above you, you can only see the moon. The sun is moving rapidly, but it doesn't feel wrong. It feels sort of the kind of logic that only makes sense in dreams. It just seems like maybe time is just kind of accelerating, but nothing feels out of place to you. But then the sun crashes into the moon, and they both explode, and that's it. You wake up for real this time. But we'll take like a 5-10 minute break from here, and then I'll bring everybody else in. You're welcome.
Okay.
You're welcome to tell them as much or as little as you want of this experience. Once we bring them back in.
Okay.
Cool. I'm gonna put you in the waiting room, and I'll everybody in chat, if everybody just wants to take like a 10-minute break, we'll come back real soon here, and we'll continue on. All right, so we're gonna start off. I'm bringing you guys to a new map. Let me know once you all are in. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. It's not a complicated map.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
in yet.
There.
Okay.
Perfect. Can everybody see just fine and everything?
Yeah.
Should just be you're inside one tent basically, so you shouldn't really be able to see outside of it or anything. Cool. Okay.
Yeah, everything's good.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, so it's mere, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes after Buckalasu got struck by lightning in that tree. I think it was Sire Cap who found him first, right?
Yeah, I saw the lightning and ran straight to him.
Yeah, okay. So you grabbed him, likely got some attention, and you brought him to basically he's in the Bowman's camp tent right now with the rest of them. Zando, the chieftain of the Navali tribe, Zando is in here as well. There's some other stragglers in here as well, and Buckalasu is laying there, still smoking. His hands are actually blackened and look quite kind of scuffed up a little bit. Not like super deep scar tissue or anything like that. Just like it's like he just stuffed his hands in soot, and they look maybe a little burned, but nothing too bad. I'm not even gonna give him any damage points for it or anything. But he's been out like a light since this happened. The Bone Man for the last 6, 7, 8 minutes has been rubbing like chicken grease on him. He's been doing some chants, did a little dance. He's been doing all this crazy stuff. At a certain point, his hands are kind of covered in kind of all the muck that he's been rooting around in for the last several minutes, and he sticks his fingertips into Buckalasu's nostrils, and the stench of this, or perhaps the magic of the Bone Man's healing magics, who's to say? But Buckalasu, as if he just smelled like smelling salts or something, just comes to. This startles everybody else, and but you're laying there. You've got the worst headache you've ever experienced in your life. You feel dizzy. You feel your thoughts are starting to like come together. You can remember as much as you remember from before. The Bone Man standing over you, and he takes your hand in his, and he says, Buckalasu, what happened? What happened?
I have survived.
They said you got struck by lightning.
It felt as though I was taken from this place. And when I awoke, shadow everywhere.
Zando.
Consuming.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Consuming all light.
Zando kind of crosses his arms over his giant barrel chest and tilts his head towards you. Taken. Where?
Here. The shadow came from everywhere. The blood of jewels across this camp. Consuming. Eating everything.
Some of the Navali tribal members are like start chattering amongst themselves, and they seem very worried about whatever you're saying.
Bone Man.
Yes.
The light of Illuven shone upon me. Only this path will the Navali live.
What path?
I don't know. DM, can I make was that like a northeastern light, or was that like, what direction was the light coming from?
Yeah.
Was it like from the sky, or?
No, northeast.
Okay. All right. Northeast, Boneman. Through the hills.
You think
We must go.
You think Illuven is leading you there?
Illuven or something. I don't know.
The Bone Man nods very contemplatively, and he leans down to your the symbol of Illuven, this sort of painted yellow stone medallion that you a long time ago carved out. You kind of shaped with other rocks and bones and whatnot, into chipped away at it until it kind of looked like a star. And he touches it, and he nods to you and says, Illuven has long been your chosen god. Perhaps he finally chooses you. And as he says that, because of the place that the Bone Man, the significance that he holds in this tribe, he's seen as the guy who has a direct line to all of the gods, even all of the tribal members in this tent, even Storvo, seems kind of a little bit wide-eyed at this declaration. A few of these two in the back here kind of hold hands, like they're just like incredibly like freaked out, but also like kind of aroused. Like this is nothing like this has ever happened in the camp that didn't directly come from the Bone Man before. This is the first time it's ever happened to anyone except maybe Xando himself. So this is quite alarming but exciting at the same time.
Boogaloosu is going to reach out and try and take the amulet with both hands, just palms up. He's not going to try and grab it, but he's going to sort of ask for it with his palms.
It's still around your neck. He just touched it and just kind of was like,
okay.
Like, yes, of course it was Illuven that reached out to you. You constantly reach out to him.
So his hands are still black. When he rubs his hands over the amulet, does any of it scrape off like soot, or is it?
Yeah, it's basically kind of ashy.
Okay.
The Bone Man, out from one of the bowls that he had been doing all his like medicinal work on you with, he pulls out this. It's kind of caked in chicken blood at this point. He kind of rubs some of that off of this large, not large, but like it's about half the size of like a hand, like from palm to fingertip. It's this black and charred piece of wood. Looks like it was split open. He hands it to you, and he says, perhaps Storvo is in on this as well.
Boogaloosu is going to take it and give a kind of a seated bow, very reverent, touching his forehead to it before he sets it down, and then he's going to spit in his hands and then rub them together and then start to rub the soot all over his face.
Nice. That is the wrong token. The Bone Man says to you, what else did you see?
The end of all things.
He nods slowly.
The sun and the moon at war. That is what I saw.
You saw Illuven and Lunara going to war.
Yes. Just before everything was destroyed.
He nods. Do you think that you have to walk this path alone?
No. I was surrounded by my brothers. Those that slayed the Sabertooth.
He looks over at Sire Cap, the guy that brought you in here, and glances over to Degatoga and Tanazal, the half-orc, and nods. Then the four of you must go. On behalf of all the Navali, whatever this is, you must follow Illuvin's plan for you. If Illuvin and Lunara are going to war, I do not know what this means, but Storvo himself seems to be in cahoots with Illuvin. You must go. You must find out what all of this means. Get some sleep. You leave in the morning.
Buka's gonna go around to the other three and give them all kind of a forearm shake and a very manly hug. Spread some soot on their face.
As you all kind of like get together a little bit, the Boneman kind of shuffles out everybody else out of the camp except for Xando, who, you know, he's not going to boss him around. Xando isn't really saying much, but he's kind of looking upon Buckalasu and his Sire Cap, Degatoga, and Tanazal, looking at you all kind of up and down, wondering. It's pretty clear he doesn't know exactly what to make of all of this. You roll an insight check. Anyone who, if any of you, do any of you have it as a proficient skill?
Oh, no.
Buka, no.
I think I do.
Insight.
Let's see here.
I have proficiency to insight, but not.
Yeah, none of you have it as a That's okay. All of you go ahead and roll without it. It's fine. Just an insight check. That's not going to do it.
Okay. 14 for Bukalasu.
Okay. Everybody else rolled under a 10. Okay. Bukalasu. Xando, Chieftain Xando is known for kind of being the guy more than anyone except maybe the Boneman himself. Xando is the Navali. He is the guy that really, before this, it was kind of a fledgling tribe, very religious, but not particularly warlike. They would fight when they needed to fight. They were they had a pretty big tribe, like 80 members or something. If any of you, I mean, all of you were in the tribe 6 years ago when Xando was made chieftain. In, I would say, probably the last 30 years between the Boneman and Xando, the Navali have risen from a tribe of about 80 people to about 300. And the Navali are one of the only tribes who have orcs and half orcs in any like real number. Most of the other tribes are entirely human. Maybe a half elf here or there, possibly another half orc or two out there, but The Navali are really the only ones who ever brought in full-blooded orcs into the tribe. This was negotiated by the Boneman, but Zando really expanded upon this over the years, and started really going to war with other tribes. And he would, kill any, he'd do what he would do. Like he would run in 1v7 other people. Somehow he's never lost a fight. He's always like overcome the odds. A lot of people feel like he might be Storvo's son, or at least have Storvo's favor. People have really grown to really, really respect and kind of revere this guy. But he's also never really had any. Since he killed the last chieftain about 6 years ago and took over, no one else has really stood up and like taken any of the spotlight away from him. And as you kind of look at him, you kind of see this little hint of jealousy on his eyes. Like he's not quite sure what to make of all this. He's not made any decisions, but you can. It's kind of a look that makes you feel. It kind of makes you a little self-conscious.
Yeah, Buka's gonna avoid any sort of stare down. He's gonna avert his gaze from Zando and sort of make himself appear smaller, so as not to spark any issues with the chieftain at this point. He's not looking to fight. So
yeah.
He's gonna...
Zando, kind of nods. It's almost imperceptive, but he kind of nods, and then he just kind of leaves. The Bone Man is the only one who's not one of you four left in the camp or in the tent, and he nods and says, I don't know what any of this means. I will have to speak to the gods, and I will give you an answer in the morning, but prepare. If Illuven wants you to go northeast, then he's chosen you four for this task. You're going to go out there. You are going to represent the Navali. Do what you must do and go with my blessing. Now, go ahead.
Thank you, Boneman. Boogalasu is going to defer to the rest of the...
Tanazol grips Boogalasu on the shoulder and says, "You will always have my axe, brother. I will follow you anywhere."
Buka's going to nod at him, thankfully.
Sire's gonna look at Buka and say, "I saw the gods touch you, and we have a war to fight."
I have much to live up to.
You have my life, should you require it, my friend. May Daestus be with you.
Thank you for your words. And Buka's gonna sort of just stare into the fire at this point, a little overcome with emotion. Pretty much the thing that he's wanted to happen his entire life has finally happened, so he's kind of like, I don't know what to do with this. So he's gonna just like, he's gonna sit there staring at the fire, and he's gonna cry a little.
Right on.
DM question, if I may.
Please.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, please.
With my Wanderer feature, am I aware of any other permanent or semi-permanent tribes as such in the direction we're going out tomorrow?
So the double-edged sword of being a Navali is all the other tribes are afraid of you. So the downside of being in a tribe that is 300 men and women and not too many children, although some children, strong, is the other tribes tend to see you coming. The Navali are not known for being stealthy. Not to say that nobody in the tribe has stealth, but they tend to move like they own the world. And so the other tribes, when they see them coming, they pack up camp and tend to go away. So you almost never know where any other tribes are. Now, the Concert Crests, which is the sort of the hilly lands sort of north of New Crescendo and partially in like the tenor and soprano woodlands and all that. A lot of tribes do tend to make camp in these areas because they tend to be very fertile. The swamps are kind of known for being haunted, so a lot of tribes kind of give them a wide berth and stuff. There are plenty of tribes like further south, like down the Serenade slopes and way further north up in like the Fresco fields and along the lakes and stuff. But I would say a pretty high percentage of tribes exist in the Concert Crests, which is, you guys are kind of in the right on the edge of the Concert Crests on the south end of it. So if you go northwest, there's a good chance you'll run into other tribes for sure.
Okay, thank you much.
Yeah, absolutely. So are you guys at this point just going to get some rest, or is there anything else you want to do before morning?
Yeah, did that count as a long rest for Bukalasu, even though he's struck by lightning?
Yeah. Well, at this point, it will be.
Lightning-induced long rest.
That probably didn't count, but...
Yeah, it's a very, very deep sleep.
So
okay.
to give yourselves your long rests, just go into your character sheet and then right to the bottom left of your icon where your hit points are, that you see a little bed there. The first one is a short rest and the second one's a long rest. So feel free to, you can all give yourself a long rest if you'd like.
Cool. Thanks, DM.
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect.
And if you all are ready, then we'll move on to the next day. Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Then let me take 1 second here, and I'm going to bring you back to the Navali Camp. So it is the next morning. You've all had probably varying degrees of good sleep. You know, nobody's really disturbed you, but this is probably the most significant moment of any of your lives. So, you know, it counts as a long rest, but probably none of you have slept very well. Especially Buckalasu's still coming off of being struck by lightning. Although, curiously, you don't seem injured from it. Your hair did come away a little frazzled, but and your hands a little blackened and a little burned on your hands and feet, but nothing like it's almost a good pain at this point because you know it kind of came from the gods, and so you're sort of okay with it.
He's into that. Yeah.
The next day, you exit the yurt that you were given to sleep in, and there's a lot more than you even see here. There's probably maybe 40 or 50 Navali in this area. The camp is sort of a buzz like you've sort of never seen before, and there seems to be a lot of talk about what the hell this might mean. You know, nobody's really clear on what the goal is or what the mission is. It's just but like one thing that's clear is that you four were chosen by the gods and very likely Illuven and Storvo to go on some great quest. And so they've kind of gathered you all up. They've knitted your clothes together if need be. They polished up your stone tools and the full orc Meka, who is Degatoga's not wife, but and Tanazal's mother. She approaches and she's got this little bundle of leather wrapped up a little bit, and she goes to Degatoga and says, everybody is so proud of you. We took the most prized possessions that people were willing to donate, and they offer you these. And she undoes the leather bindings, and inside there is a obsidian dagger for each of you.
Nice.
Now, obsidian blades in this campaign, they're not magical, but they are +1 weapons. That means +1 to attack and damage. It's already in the equation for the item. The downside is they have a 10% chance of breaking, where the rest of your equipment only has a 5% chance of breaking. So with everything else, if you roll a natural 1, your item breaks. With these weapons, if you roll a natural 1, they break, but also if your attack roll total equals your opponent's armor class, you will hit them and you will do damage, but your weapon will like snap off, possibly inside of them, possibly like off their armor, depending on the amount of damage you do. But you each have a obsidian +1 dagger in your possession now.
Okay, great. Before we head out, Bugalasu is gonna go gather up some mushrooms because he's gonna need a lot.
Oh yeah, the Bone Man gives you
Okay.
like a month's supply of magic mushrooms. Yeah.
He's so great. Bugalasu is so happy. He's just like,
Getting high tonight, boys.
very good. This will be a very, very wisdom gaining trip, brothers.
He nods and like kind of gives you this little wicker basket of mushrooms for you to put in your bundle or whatever.
Who's carrying the basket? Who can we trust?
You could probably stash them in your sling bag or something if the basket's too much to carry.
Bugalasu is gonna hold on to him because he doesn't trust anyone.
These are my magic mushrooms.
You had me at mushrooms.
It's pretty well known in the camp that the Bone Man, Bugalasu, and some other shaman in training, or shaman and like yearning or whatever, do consume. They hit the pipe quite a lot, and they hit the magic mushrooms quite a lot too. And this is usually when the gods speak to them. So yeah, Bugalasu getting a massive month-long supply of this stuff is pretty good. As in, like, you've got like 30 days worth of, like, you could get high 30 times essentially.
Okay.
Just make a note of that, and I'll add it to your character sheet later.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Never see them again.
So if you guys
Speaking of the gods,
Mhm.
Sire is gonna gingerly approach the lightning tree, kind of occasionally glancing up at the sky,
Sure.
grab some leaves, and run back to the group.
Sure. The tree is pretty fucked up. It's no longer on fire, but I guess throughout the night, a little rain kind of came away and put out the fire. But there's actually quite a lot of like lightning struck bark that you might be able to take with you. It's probably not useful, but there would probably be religious significance for any of you to take it. So this is literally a tree
No,
touched by Storvo.
It's all useful.
Perfect.
DM question.
Yeah.
Was there a piece of just lightning struck? What was handed to him by the Boneman?
Yes.
Or was that okay?
Yeah.
It's nothing significant except that it's touched by Storvo, right?
Yeah, I mean it's
okay.
Yeah,
That
stuff like
I know
this.
of. Okay.
Stuff like this, like basically never happens. So this is probably of high religious significance to you guys.
Yeah, it's a what do you call it? What do you call that when you go on vacation somewhere? You get one of those trinkets to bring home.
Souvenir.
You mean like a little
Souvenirs.
totchke or something?
A souvenir, yeah.
Oh, a
It's like
souvenir. Yeah, okay. Yeah, right on. Maka would embrace Degatoga and her son, and still a woman of few words, just kind of leaves it at that and kind of walks away. And you all can really feel kind of the love from the tribe. Like this is a moment of importance and significance to them, and they don't know what the hell is going to happen to you guys out there, but they're wishing you the best. Zando steps up to you and says, "We will be here until the wind blows elsewhere, or until winter. You know how to find us. Go with the gods."
We will.
Okay, and with that, unless you guys have anything else you want to do, we can, you guys can take off and make your move elsewhere.
Yeah, Book is good.
Yeah, Tenazol's grinning. He's ready to get out and meet these gods.
Nice.
Ready when you are.
To the northeast.
Yeah, well, let's we'll start with that. So you guys, we'll move into the world map real quick. I don't know why I'm putting all your tokens on here. It probably doesn't matter, but you all are in the Tenor Forest, sort of the north end of it. You can pretty much choose your direction from here. So just kind of,
Okay.
you can just move your token to like the general direction, or maybe your destination that you're trying to get to, and I'll move your token back or whatever. We can kind of figure out where to go from there.
Yeah, so is this a river we're going to have to cross here?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so northeast towards the river, I believe, is where the direction we were headed.
Cool.
Unless there's other ideas from the party, like if they would like to go a different direction.
No, I'd say just follow the river up
Sure.
into the hills and just keep heading that way.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
I'm going
thinking
to follow
we're just
the god now.
just heading straight towards Concert Crest.
Cool. So you guys, there's no rangers here, right? So, do any of you have the survival skill?
Yeah,
Yes, and I have Wanderer.
Yep.
Perfect. Then why
Yes.
don't you take point on that and give me a survival check?
And survival check coming right up.
Oh, hell yeah.
That is a
That's-
19.
That is a good roll. Okay. You kind of lead people across the first stretch of the river, and you make your way sort of north. It's you get a good day's journey in. You probably find a squirrel along the way, hunt and snatch it up, and make camp for a couple hours and take a load off and keep going on. And it's not too long. You guys are moving at a pretty decent pace. I mean, that's only, you're well within 1 day's travel at that point. And roll a perception check, Buckalasu.
Okie dokie. We got a 17.
That's great. Okay, so you start. You're still along kind of the river, but as you get closer to the hills, you start to see like some rock outcroppings and stuff in the terrain, and this is kind of slowing you down, and you got to make a choice. Do you want to go up the rock croppings and kind of like take to the higher part of the hills, or do you want to stick very closely along the river and kind of take the low ground?
Bugalasu is going to recommend to the rest of the group that they take the higher ground to be closer to the sun.
Does that sound good to the rest of you?
I would like to make the counter argument to him that from a survival point of view, the river is probably better, but
Yeah.
One thing, just to be clear, if you take the high ground, you're not going to. It's not like you're going to be miles away from the river. It's just the river goes along the low ground. So if you need to get back to the river, it's only like 200 feet away, but it'd be down either hills or you might have to climb down a small cliff, something like that.
Oh, in that case, definitely take the high ground.
Okay, gotcha. Everybody in agreement on that then?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay,
Yep.
so you take the high ground, and you continue along, and you start to see Bukalasu from that 17 you rolled. You start to see black birds, crows probably, circling overhead in a dip in the sort of like cliff like outcropping of areas in the hills. It's still quite a distance away, and it's not 100% along your path, but it's not too far out of that. Do you want to ignore it, go that way, avoid it? What do you want to do?
Book is going to look at Tegatoa and ask, "What do you make of these birds? Do they normally circle when they're feasting?"
Can I please roll a nature check
Do it.
to answer that question?
Oh! Your best guess?
They should be feasting. They seem to me as scavengers. Maybe there are carcasses there. We should avoid it in case there has been a battle recently, or some form of predators in the area.
And Book is going to nod and say, "Very wise." And then it's
But
his
we
recommendation that
We are the predators.
Sorry, say that again. We
We are the predators.
the predators.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, the Navali don't run from fights.
Y'all are welcome to like role play this out and discuss this to your heart's content.
Our goal here is to assist Bukalasu on his divine journey. If you wish to take a path for combat, I will be behind you every step of the way. But I believe it is his choice.
brothers, we are not avoiding fights. We're avoiding delaying our mission. And our mission is to pursue the future of the Navali. Not whatever that is.
I will follow you on your journey. We will bring honor to the Navali and the gods.
You're right. I'll follow.
Okay. So you guys avoid the crow area. Do you intend to cross the river at some point, or you've been through these hills? You do know that eventually the river just dies out. Do you want to stay away from the river entirely, or do you want to and eventually cross over? Not like after the river kind of ends, or do you want to cross the river far before it ends?
Say cross it where it's a bit easier.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool. So you guys keep making your way more east now than northeast. As you look over into the where you saw the crows, you do start to see smoke rising up. It looks like there's sort of this cliff face that kind of wraps around a big hill, and inside of that area is where you see the smoke rising. It doesn't look like a very large area. It looks like it might just be sort of a probably a small tribe or something, but definitely a camp that they've made up in that area.
Would I be able to see how many are present, or like tents or fires?
You'd have to get a little closer if you wanted to. It is the good news is because you guys took the high ground, you would probably be able to get close to the edge of the cliff and look down into the area rather than like having to like approach it head on.
Yeah, Boogaloo is going to look to the others who are a little more skilled in stalking.
Well, I failed my last stealth. But yeah,
I would be able to get closer as well.
March away from ours. Surely we are honor bound to take out this enemy tribe.
If they are the enemy, then we shall fight them. I'm behind you every step of the way.
Okay. Do you guys? So as you approach a little bit more, Tanazal and Buckalisu, you both have you both are proficient in perception. Go ahead and give me a perception check, each of you.
So 24 for Buku.
Ooh. Okay. Buku, you as you guys start approaching, you look off. You can't see in there yet, but you can see a little bit further in the distance. You see what you think is a large, maybe a hunting party or maybe a wandering tribe or something. You're not quite sure, but it looks like about 12 to 15 people, tribal human people, wandering into the hills away from whatever the area is that you're approaching now. And because you rolled so high, you rolled a 19 on that, you can tell that the trajectory they're taking is almost directly away from the area you're approaching now.
How many of them look like they're outfitted for combat, hunting, or battle?
So from where you are, they're like a good half mile away at this point. Like they're
Okay.
pretty far out there, but they're moving away from your position, and you can see spears and with that roll, sure, you could see short bows and that kind of thing. So if you had to guess, you'd say that's probably a hunting party. Like they're off looking for. This is like the normal like daily routine for tribal humans is usually the hunters go off and find some food, and the gatherers go off and chop up roots and gather berries and that kind of thing. So this is totally normal in your estimation.
What direction are they moving? To the southwest?
Yep.
Or okay. To the west? Okay.
Southwest, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Boogaloo is going to look to the others and say, "They don't concern us. They're not in our path."
Fighting them would be suicide, brothers. I'm all down for a good fight, but I do prefer to come out of it alive afterwards.
So you guys move closer to the kind of rock croppings, and you eventually find yourself here. And as you look down into this sort of opening in the cliff face, you could actually see a pretty fortified camp. It's got half a dozen-ish tents in it. You can see to kind of the south west, they actually have walls installed in the area. It looks like whoever left is from this camp, most likely. And as you look down there, you notice there a couple of things. First of all, there's not that many people that you see. You only see the three down there. But also, you notice there are a lot of blackbirds circling overhead, moving kind of erratically. You're not quite sure why on that front, but
Boogalasu, after seeing the birds, is going to recognize that and pull out some mushrooms from the basket and pass a little bit to each tribe mate.
Nice.
And say, these birds were in my vision. This is the path. This is the way.
So we ought to kill everyone here then.
I have been shown. Yes. And then Boogalasu is going to consume the mushrooms.
Nice.
Tad draws his 2 spears. Well, javelins.
Do any of
Gets ready
you...
to jump into.
How high up are we off that cliff edge?
I wouldn't recommend jumping off of it. You're probably 40 feet up, I would say.
So jump off and just start screaming like, "Yeah, boy!"
Yeah, you'd probably break both your legs if you jump off. I for maybe like short-ish distances, I'll follow D&D rules on that. But if you jump off like a 40-foot wall, you're probably just gonna die. So don't play the HP game with massive falls. In this game is what I would say.
Okay, I'll put my 2 javelin away then.
Is there a way down easily that we could probably make with like a climb check or something like that?
Of course you can try. It would be tough. It's certainly not impossible, but you know, if you're not a strong climber, I probably wouldn't recommend it. You did notice that just a little bit to the north, the rock cropping starts sloping down, and so it'd probably be easier to just kind of cross at the point you're at now. It's more of a stream than like it's still like a deep river, but it's not super wide anymore. It's only 5-10 feet wide, so you can cross pretty easily. You'll get a little wet, but it's not a big deal. And so you could either choose to climb down if you want. You could go a little bit up north, circle around, approach the gates, or if you come up with anything else, you can try kind of whatever you want.
Degatoga's going to go into his pack and pull out his rope,
Mm-hmm.
and then turn to the rest of them and say, "Brothers, your rope, tied together."
Okay. I'll give you my rope.
There it is. Buka's going for it. Another 10 feet to the rope there.
Okay.
I feel like doing commando cliffing this.
Right on.
I want to gently remind you that I am about 250 pounds?
That's why you're going to be holding it, not me.
Yeah, I've got 50 feet of rope, but it's our rope, and probably just as heavy.
Yeah.
So just a quick thing about that. So that was a little bit of not a typo, but I kind of fucked that up a little bit. It was meant to be a bundle of rope of your specific group, and for tribal humans, that's only 10 feet. It's not actually 50 feet. So you each have 10 feet of primitive rope, rather than because I think the dwarves get 50 and the elves get 50, but
we've got 10 feet each, so tie them together. You got
yeah, you could tie them all together. That would give you 40 feet. That would get you straight down. Well, we could say you're about 40 feet
My
up.
question is, if I lower you three down, how am I getting down?
Can you throw a javelin?
I can throw everything. Yeah.
Leave our javelins with the brother here. Don't hit us.
I can't promise you anything, but I'll try. Just
This
keep
is why-
both eyes open.
This is why I don't give the blind man range weapons.
Oh yeah,
I'm
I don't know if we've mentioned
gonna
that,
take the.
but Degatoga's missing an eye, right?
I am missing an eye, so I have disadvantage on any check that requires sight, including range.
Hey, that's how 8-ball intelligence rolls. Like
Right
we're
on.
doing it. We're
Do not give me a range weapon and expect me to be able to use it very well. Even if I'm brilliant, I still have disadvantage.
Okay, so what's the plan then? Are you guys going? Who's gonna hold the rope and who's climbing down first?
So I'm gonna tie I'm gonna
Tanazol's
tie
gonna hold the rope.
the 14
how many
together.
javelin are you all giving me?
Sorry, talk one at a time. I'm not sure
Sorry.
who's saying what. No, you're good. You're good.
I was gonna say Tanazol's gonna hold the rope.
Okay.
Because I've got what 250 pounds of
Right.
weight to hold them up. But I also need to know how many javelin people are leaving me because I've only got 4.
So you only see 3 people down there. You don't know who might be in
that
those.
should be plenty. I've got
There
4
could be
javelins
other
to be
people in the
fair.
tents and stuff, but
Yeah.
you've been up here a
I'll
couple
risk it.
minutes. You don't see
It'll be
anybody.
fine. Yeah, I'll pass you the rope.
I'll pass you my rope. I've got 4 javelins.
Keep the javelins. I should be all right with. I've got what 6, 9 weapons I can throw at them.
Nice.
Fucking hailstorm from the cliffside.
You're basically like a tribal orc Neo, just opening his trench coat, and there's just javelins and daggers and throwing axes and all this stuff just everywhere. Yeah, that's awesome.
Hey kid, want some throwing weapons?
Exactly. So who's climbing down first?
So I'm gonna go down first.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking if I go down first without anyone else, it means that it's less likely to break the rope and or
Sure.
overweigh. If I go down first and act as a distraction, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm the big angry religious man.
Cool. All right, then let's start with Tanazol. Do you want to give us a strength ability check?
Yeah, sure. Question: can I rage now, or?
Yeah, that'll.
Yeah.
We can put
Give me a
you
little-
in combat mode.
Yeah.
And well, I guess I can have you guys roll right now. That's fine.
You just want us all to roll strength checks then?
No, well, are all of you holding the rope, or is just Tanazol holding it?
I assume it's just me.
If you three want to hold the rope, because I weigh quite a bit as well. So if you three hold it, let me down, and then just go down.
Yeah.
Because I think I weigh the second most, followed by you lot.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if I rage just to get that nice little bonus, plus getting ready to start hurling javelins at everyone.
Sure.
Axes and daggers and-
Puka's gonna go second as the skinniest party member.
Right on. One thing I haven't mentioned this yet, but Bukalasu, someone in chat, Coors, donated to give you advantage. So you or not advantage. You have 1 inspiration die
Oh,
that
great.
you can use at any point in time that you want.
Do I have to declare that before I roll the first time, or can I use it right after I roll, like lucky? Like if I roll bad, can I just re-roll using inspiration, or do I have to declare before I roll?
That's a good question. I don't know off the top of my head. I don't. Do any of you know? Do you have to use
With
inspiration?
inspiration, you have to declare before you roll. It's not
Okay.
like lucky feat.
Perfect.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Okay. Then let's start with the Tanazol, and Sire Cap can help. So you get advantage on your roll, Tanazol, on your strength check.
Okay.
Don't drop me, son, please.
No promises.
Oh God.
It's not good. That's not good. That's a 9. All right, Degatoga.
Bye, Dad.
I'm gonna give you a. Let's call it a. Since you haven't really started climbing down yet, let's call it a strength saving throw to like grab the side of the cliff before you fall. Okay, that's not bad.
Oh.
So
Just imagine swinging my axe into it, just using it as an ice pick, and just like.
so the cordage, the rope that you guys have, it's just kind of like this coiled together rope made out of plant fibers and stuff, and so it's not super thick. So Tanazol just he's big and strong, but he doesn't really have a good grip with his giant half-orc hands, and the rope just starts sliding out of his hands rapidly. Degatoga, you feel it, and you immediately let go of the rope, grab a hold of the cliff face, and hold on for dear life. Thankfully, you get your axe up on the ledge, so you don't drop anything. You probably don't have it out anyway, but you don't drop anything. You're good. That was a good roll. But you kind of look up at your kid. You're not quite sure if you trust him for this. Your legs are dangling off the edge.
It's
By
just me
the
more
way.
disapproving looks now.
Um,
I quietly stop swearing in Orcish under my breath.
Buka's gonna look over the side at that precarious position and say, "First time on shrooms."
I never actually took them.
oh yeah, who took the shrooms, by the way?
Buka definitely did. Yeah.
I have not.
Yeah, neither did I.
Okay. So
But, yeah.
just-
Who's next to try the rope?
Buka's up next. He's gonna go ahead and give it a go. Save the inspiration. Just gonna roll normal here. We'll see how it goes. Oh God.
it's not good.
One.
The natural one. Kind of the same thing. Buka grabs onto the rope, starts lowering himself down, and the primitive rope, which is really not rated for real heavy lifting, just snaps immediately. And Buka just falls. I mean, he just falls straight down. We're going to roll damage on this one.
How high up am I, by the way? Is it the full 40 feet?
God.
It's the full 40 feet, yeah. Buka, you fall straight down, land hard on your back, and take 10 damage. I would normally give you a saving throw, but you rolled a critical failure, so
Buka's knocked out.
Buka's knocked out.
Yeah.
Just immediately does not go according to plan. Also, the level of noise that made immediately draws the attention of these two tribal humans down below you, and they look over at you, really not sure what the hell to make out of this. All right, let's Sire Cap, what do you want to do?
So do I actually have somebody still holding a rope?
Tanazol's holding
There is no
about
rope.
15 feet of rope at this point. The the other 25 feet or whatever are at the bottom of the cliff with Buka. Now, in theory,
yeah.
if you want to make a quick, you could maybe drop down to this. We could say that's only like 20 feet down. So, if you
Are we in combat, or are we?
We are in. I was just doing the turn-based thing so I could keep track of the how many turns the rage is going to last for, because I think the rage lasts for 10 turns, right?
10 turns, yeah.
Yeah. So that I was just doing it for that purpose, but we're not in combat just yet.
Can I shout out to the two tribal humans? Help us! We're being chased by the Navali. Please help my friend there.
Yeah.
I'll try and use a deception check.
Yeah, absolutely. Do it. That is a great check.
I'm a happy person.
Let me, I'm gonna roll one insight check. But frankly, unless they roll a 20, yeah. You see, they look very alarmed, but when you shout that out, they start lowering their guard a little bit. They start moving towards you guys, though, but they're doing it kind of at a casual pace a little bit.
I was gonna shoot up to the light. Don't say a word.
roll a athletics check, Sire Cap, to get down that first chunk without, falling. Yeah, you're fine. You get down that first chunk just fine. All right, I'm gonna add. Since this is gonna get a little chonky, I imagine I'm gonna add everybody else, and I'm just gonna. All right, cool. So, the first tribalist moves over to Buckalasu, who is unconscious, laying on his back. She kind of like touches him a little bit, and it looks a little bit alarmed. She doesn't. It's pretty clear it's a small tribe. She doesn't recognize him. This clearly concerns her, but she's fallen for the lie so far, so she's not. Her guard is up, but she's not about to like slit his throat or anything. The other one moves and says, "The Navali, where are they coming from? What's going on?" And then
We're a small hunting party. We crossed over their territory by accident. They've been chasing us for the past day. I think we lost them though over the mountains.
Buckalasu, we'll start doing this turn-based now. Go ahead and give us a death saving throw.
Okay.
It's just a 1d. You just probably just type it. It's just a 1d20.
Yeah, okay. Where's that guy at? There we go. Ooh, I make it.
You
16.
make the first one. Perfect.
So far, so good.
So far, so good. All right. All right. Here, we'll just activate this. Degatoga, you've probably pulled yourself up the cliff face if you want, or you could still. Well, you probably pulled yourself up, right? By this point, it's your turn. What do you want to do?
Did you say there's an easier way to get down?
Yeah, where Sire Cap is going, it's kind of. We'll say this whole rock face is like 20 feet down, rather than 40.
I'm gonna do a little bit of a leapfrog off and just jump down, basically.
Okay, cool. Give us an acrobatics check then, to try to do that without taking damage. Okay, it's not gonna do it, but we'll just a little bit of damage is what we're gonna give you. Okay, but you're gonna take a lot of damage from it. It's fine. It's fine. It's still good. You leap down and immediately twist your ankle. It knocks you kind of sideways. But it doesn't feel good. But you're alive. You're alive. You made it.
Can I use lay on hands on myself?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, go ahead. Although, no, it's fine. Yeah, go ahead.
There you go. That's fine.
All right. How you can heal yourself for up to 5 points, I think, right?
I'm gonna give me a 5 point
Okay.
up to 5. So I'm gonna heal to 10.
Plus 5. Done. All right. Sire Cap, as you look down at Degatoga, you see him. He's reaching out to his ankle, which is clearly, it's already like kind of red, and you could tell he kind of twisted that ankle pretty bad. But as he touches it, very strangely, you've never seen anything like this before, but you swear you see his hand kind of emanate a little bit of like a yellow light that doesn't really seem to cast a glow on anything else. It just sort of ethereally, it's just this light unto itself. Doesn't cast any shadows or anything like that, but almost immediately the reddish, what was likely going to be a nasty bruise, just vanishes from his ankle.
Gonna be chanting, just chanting under my breath as I do that.
And in Sirecap, it's your turn.
I'm just gonna look at amazement there and quietly whisper, and ask him what kind of plants he's holding, and then finish
These
going
are
down
no
the hill.
these are no plants, my brother. This is the might of Daestrus, incarnate. I not know how I manifest his power, but he has gifted me with his knowledge.
He'll just quietly reflect on that and continue down.
Okay. Go ahead, roll another athletics check to get the rest of the way down. Or acrobatics if you're just jumping down. It's up to you.
Can I assist him, like give him a hand down?
If he wants to climb down, yeah. If he wants to just jump. If he wants to do it fast. But here's the deal. If you roll acrobatics and succeed, that won't be the end of your turn. But if you climb down, you can get assistance from Degatoga. And I'll give you advantage to your roll, but that'll be the end of your turn.
That sounds good. I'll climb down with the advantage.
Okay, give yourself advantage on your athletics check. Yeah, that'll do. You get down the rest of the way. But that ends your turn. Tanazol, you've got like 14 feet of 15 feet of cordage in your hands. It's not really useful.
Yeah. I kind of try to get the attention of my dad, and I place my hands on the 2 javelins that are by me, and I sort of go like, "Should I?" You know.
I'm gonna look at him, just shake hands like, no, I have a plan, no.
Okay, so
So are you just gonna stay up there and just hold for now?
I'm
Tanazol?
gonna like beckon him to come down to me, like, yeah, come down, kind of thing.
What do you want to do, Tanazol?
I'm really tempted to just try and jump the whole distance, but I've seen everyone take loads of damage.
Yeah.
No, I'll climb down next to my dad.
Okay. Roll athletics check then. You still succeed.
Really?
That
Oh.
strong orcish strength. You're good. Yeah. You
okay
climb
then.
down. All right. So the other tribalist reaches Buckalasu and basically is like trying to. It's clear that they've fallen for the lie so far, but they're really not sure who the hell you guys are, and it's clear that they're very suspicious that you're climbing down their cliff. You know what I mean? All right. She turns to Sire Cap and says, "Who are you with? What tribe are you from? Where are you coming from?" And that's the end of her turn. Buckalasu's second death save. Okay. Doing good.
Nicely done.
Doing good. 2 for 2.
Yep.
All right, Degatoga.
What is it again? It's an acrobatics check to jump down and then have
Yep.
another turn, right?
Yep. I'll basically count it as part of your move. Basically, if you use acrobatics.
How high is it?
About 20 feet.
Oh. I'm gonna ask my
I'll
son.
aim for kind
I'm
of
gonna ask my
kind of a
son for
catch.
assistance coming down. I don't know.
And
I
I'll
don't know
look
if I'll
sure.
up again.
I was like, are you sure?
Sorry, what are you? So what are you doing?
I'm gonna ask my son Tanzol just to help me down so I don't fuck up my ankle again.
Oh, sure. Yeah. He
And
can.
I look really worried when I'm holding on to him.
Do not worry, my son. Do not worry. Just pat him on the back.
You can roll climb with advantage then. Yeah, you make it down.
Finally.
You make it down just fine.
Oof.
There you go. All right. Sire Cap, your turn.
I'm just gonna look at her and say, "No time to explain," and look up the cliff as if I'm waiting for something to happen.
Okay. I'm gonna give her an insight check.
Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
Okay, she seems a lot more suspicious now. She's not yet making a move, but her dagger's like gripped pretty tight in her hand, and it's pretty clear she's thinking about making a move here. Not this turn though. Tanazol.
Do I get any insight on what you're looking at me for? Like, you wanting me to attack now? Do I need to roll an insight for that?
No, you could. I mean, you can get a vibe.
Yeah. What's the vibe book?
It's becoming pretty clear that they're getting very suspicious, and you're not sure how long they're just gonna.
Okay, in that case, I'll just grab one of the javelins and throw it as hard as I can at her head.
Okay, at this one here.
Yeah, that's the one.
All right. I'm gonna give you advantage because you're directly above her. It's a pretty easy shot.
You see, this is the plan here, boys. Taken by surprise.
Yeah, that 8-ball plan. Yeah,
Just like we rehearsed.
yeah, distraction, right?
I mean, if the plan fucks up, you got to improvise.
You hit. Roll damage. It's not great. It's not. It's an easy target, but it's not a very large target from your position. You're kind of just looking at the top of her head. So you throw it. You throw that javelin down. You basically nail her foot to the ground. It goes right through and buries itself into the ground. She tries to take a step back. Her foot is obviously caught. She just shrieks.
And then I can chuck my second one, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Is that one with advantage since she's pinned, or?
What's the rule on dual wielding here? You take some kind of penalty or something, right? Or
Yeah, I don't get the modifier to the damage.
gotcha. Okay.
So it'll just be a straight d6.
Yeah, go for it then. That's fine.
Attack with advantage again, or no?
For your offhand, let's say no. She's a little bit more. Well, actually, she's pinned. Yeah.
Cool.
That's a hit. This one, it goes this one you're pretty on point, and it goes right into her stomach. She takes it in both hands, drops her knife immediately, holds on to the javelin haft, and just slumps over. Her foot rips, like just a solid line in her foot just rips as the javelin stays in its the first javelin stays in its place, and she just slumps to the ground. She is dead. All right, I think that ends your turn, right?
I have got movement still, so
Sure.
I could like jump down.
Yep.
But it is 20 foot.
It is 20 feet.
Please no.
All right.
I'll stay there, and I don't know. Have
Sure.
I got enough to like grab another weapon ready, or
probably not at this point.
Yeah.
But you've got 2 more javelins, and it's not like any of these guys are near you,
Yeah.
so you should be safe.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'm done.
South of you guys, there's a third tribalist who just witnessed this whole thing. He starts yelling, "Invaders! Everybody out! Invaders to the cliff!" And he starts running. And yep, he can make it there in his 30 feet. He's got a hand axe in his right hand. He goes straight for Sire Cap and swings it. That's an 18. I'm pretty sure that hits. He does not hit for much, though. You got very lucky. He overhands that, but he's sprinting. It's a wild swing. You basically reach up with your arm and you take the haft of the hand axe on your forearm, on your left forearm. It hurts like a son of a bitch, but nothing's broken. You're gonna have a nasty bruise there. You'll be okay. All right, she's dead. Let's just take her out of rotation. All right, the next tribalist leaves Buckalasu just where he is and goes straight at Degatoga with her spear. That is a miss, though. She stabs, like lunges straight at you. You jump backwards, and she basically slams it into the rock facing there. It doesn't like dig in or anything like that. It just kind of hits. All right. Buckalasu, can you go 3 for 3?
No.
3 for
Look at
3.
that.
Nice. So you are stable, and I'll tell you what, because I'm feeling real nice. I'm gonna give you 1 hit point.
Okay.
You're not gonna wake up till next turn, though. But you're.
Oh, okay. All right.
You
Cool.
You just kind of come out of it a little bit. Your whole body hurts. That was not a good fall. You might have a lot of bruises and possibly a sprain here or there, but as you kind of look around, you see there's a fight going on above you. You take a minute or a few seconds to get your wits about you. Degatoga, your turn.
Would I get flanking on the tribalist there?
No, because she's not being attacked by anyone else. If Sire,
Oh yeah.
if you attack her and then Sire attacks her, he would, and then you would, but until he attacks, you don't.
I'm going to throw down my shield and take my axe in 2 hands, so I get the versatile bonus, and just take a swing at her.
Perfect. $17 is a hit. With you grip that battle axe with both hands. You bring it right down on her shoulder blade. Hit her so hard, you dig through her bone, into her lungs. Blood just sprays everywhere. She's immediately out of breath. Her eyes immediately sink into the back of her head, and she is dead in one hit, sir.
Can I, may I attempt to scream at the other tribalman attacking my good friend there? Can I try an intimidation roll to make him retreat or surrender?
You can try. It's gonna have to be a pretty big roll because he's in the middle of fighting Sire Cap. You don't, as of yet, see anyone else around. If it's an okay roll, he probably won't run away, but you might scare some other people. It's worth a try.
Okay, then let's see how this does.
That's okay.
That is a 15.
It's not gonna scare off the guy who's already fighting for his life, but you basically bellow, and it's
gonna scream at him. We are the Navali. Fear our wrath.
The acoustics of this outcropping of rocks is really good, and your voice sounds rather booming. You notice a couple of people from this tent and this tent basically come out, see what's going on, and immediately start running away towards kind of the this little tiny wood bridge there, and they're trying to get the hell out of there. Sire Cap, your turn.
Okay, to the one that's attacking me, I'm gonna remember something from the saber tooth and look him dead in the eye and yell, "Here, kitty, kitty, kitty," and swing my maul.
Swing. What are you swinging?
I hate you.
Oh, your maul. Gotcha.
Yeah, swing the maul.
Yeah, that's a hit. That's a big hit.
Oh, I'm a happy person right now.
Yeah, you, would you like to describe how you crushed this fucking man's soul? Because you just one-shot this guy, too.
I'm just remembering the saber tooth. I knew it was going to work, fully confident in the gods behind me. So I come straight down overhead on the top of his head and watch it just disappear into his chest.
That's all she wrote on that guy. Yeah, you smash it into him. He goes flying back like a rag doll, and just drops on the ground. He's dead. I mean, his axe is gone. It's whatever. You practically vaporized this guy. All right, Tanazol.
Well, there's no one else, is it? So I'll climb down.
Sure.
Athletics.
Yep.
That was brutal.
It
2
was.
instant kills.
I'd like my hammer.
That's
Yeah, you get down easily. All
See,
right.
boys, just because we have an intelligence of 8 doesn't mean we can't do tactics.
And I want to retrieve my 2 javelin out of the dead girl.
Gotcha. Okay, you do that easily enough. All right.
Oh yeah, just guys, remember to take your
foaming
rope
at
off
the
and
mouth
stuff,
a
by
bit.
the way.
I'll just start looking around for something else to chop.
Let me add those.
The big tent to the east. Can I see that over the smaller one here in front of me?
A little, yeah. Yeah.
Just from the bone work and stuff like that. I'm gonna start heading over that way.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a perception check for me. Okay. You don't really see anything. Continue along your merry way. Oh, can you not move your token just yet?
Yeah, I'm frozen.
Okay, that's fine. You can move next turn. Then we'll stick with combat mode for the moment. All right, Buckalasu, you are up. Your whole body hurts, but you're awake and you're mobile again. You kind of look around and you see the 3 people you had seen before are just gone, dead.
So Buka's gonna get up and he's gonna walk over towards the large tent, with intent in his eyes, and he's gonna raise his palm to the sun, and then his other palm he's gonna point at that tent and say, "Aluvan has said that you are in our path. No more." And then he's going to cast Burning Hands on that large tent.
Oh wow, nice. Okay. Did you move your token into position? Because it looks still in the same spot.
I tried to. Okay, there we go.
There we go. Perfect.
Oh, too far.
We don't get to pillage it. Oh.
Okay.
All right.
And then I got to put the Burning Hands on there.
Mm-hmm.
So 3d6.
Perfect.
How do I rotate this token?
Hold shift and mouse wheel while your mouse is over the token. If you hold control and mouse wheel, you're basically looking to do that, right?
Okay. Yeah, and if there's anybody inside, it's a dexterity saving throw of 13.
Yeah.
And that's his turn.
Perfect. What'd you say the saving throw was? 13?
Yep, 13.
All right. You see this guy just barely sprint out of the thing as the entire tent just erupts in fire.
Okay. For Burning Hands, it's half damage.
Oh, it's half damage. Okay, cool. So what was the damage on that? 11, so 5?
Yep, 11.
All right. His hair is smoking. He's patting it out rapidly. He's frantic. He drops his hammer on the ground real quick to get this fire out. And he's added, and let's add this guy. Okay. Degatoga, your turn.
So first things first, I'm going to pick my shield back up. So I've got my shield back.
Gotcha.
I'm going to... Ooh, how far can I go?
30 feet or 60 at a dash. Don't run through the like the tents and stuff though. Use like the I don't know if it's spacebar for you or right click or whatever. Yeah.
Let's space bar.
All right. It's not quite in range, basically. You still have your action though, so you can, if you want to throw something at him or do something else, you can. But can't reach him and attack this turn, I don't think. Do you want to do anything else, Dego?
I just shouted him.
Degatoga, are you... Oh, you just want to shout at him. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I'm going to try and intimidate him to surrender.
Gotcha, perfect. Okay, cool. Go ahead, roll intimidation.
That is a 19.
That's a good one. I'm going to... He's probably still not going to make it, but I'm going to give him a wisdom save with advantage because he sees what you guys are up to and he knows this is his home, but he's probably still not going to make it. Oh, that's pretty close. Okay, he's not going to run away, but you've intimidated him enough that he's taken a couple of steps back and he's left his hammer on the ground right there. So all you could see a dagger in his belt loop, but that's it. He doesn't have any weapons in his hand right now.
So does the intimidation remove my ability to ready an action next turn? I can't remember that.
Yeah, I would say intimidating him is probably your action for now.
Oh, okay, that's me done then.
Okay. Sire Cap.
All right, I'm gonna see him circle around. I'll follow him now that I see the smoke on the big tent.
Okay.
And I'll just take stock and keep my eyes open.
Perfect. Add a little bit of fire to this thing. Cool. All right. So this is what you missed on your check before, but you just now, because he doesn't reach you in time, you see another tribalist coming from the river. He's charging up towards you. All right, Tanazal.
Okay. Which is the dead guy with a hammer on the floor around?
He's right there.
Cool. Can I run, pick that up, and then go my max distance and chuck it at the new guy?
Yeah, but make if you want to run max distance, pick that thing up on the ground while you're sprinting.
Yeah.
Just make a DC 10 dexterity check for me.
Just to say out of character, for a fight that we started off with one person unconscious, we've done pretty well.
You're doing great. Yeah, you do it. Okay, sure. No problem. And you can get closer to like 30.05 is totally fine.
Just around 30 feet, basically.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Yeah. All right. You're basically sprinting at this guy. You snatch up with your nice long orc arms. You snatch up that axe and you get ready to chuck it or do whatever else you want with it.
I'm like snarling, like foam at the teeth, and just. What do you want me to roll it as? Because it's an attack, isn't it? Plus strength.
Mm-hmm.
I've only got. Sorry, because I've got all the weapons like attached to me up bar. Do you want me to just like attack as though it's a normal attack and then just roll different?
You've got yeah, whatever you want to do. I mean, you have a hand axe in your inventory. You can just use the stats for that. That's fine. It's the same hand axe basically, stat wise. That hits.
Okay. Same damage as well. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Come on, be good. Yep. There we go.
That's
9 damage.
That is a good amount of damage for sure. Was that 9? All right. You chuck that hand axe. It goes end over end until it buries itself in his stomach. He immediately doubles over, blood just like dripping down his legs. That is a good solid hit, and you get the feeling that even if he somehow kills all of you and survives, he'll be dead by nightfall either way. The healthcare in this country is not very good.
What is this brutality? It's brilliant.
All right. The tribalist who came out of kind of that big tent, it's clear he's pretty intimidated by everything that's going on. He pulls his knife out. He looks over at Buckalasu, who is, compared to Degatoga, not nearly as intimidating looking. And he looks behind him. He just has rocks behind him. He's a trapped animal. He goes charging in at Buckalasu and is going to do his best here. We shall see what happens. Okay. Me roll for him here. That is the wrong tribalist. What the hell? Oh no, it's not. That's the right one. Okay. Not so good. He basically jams it right at you, and you easily bring that shield up. It just
He's too scared.
it pretty much thunks right into. We'll say, I mean, that's such a crap roll. It thunks in between two of the slats of your shield. Go ahead, roll a dexterity check, Buck.
Okay.
Just an ability check.
Okay, ability check for Dex. Got it. Rolling, and we got a 10.
Yeah, you yank as soon as that thing goes in, you twist your shield out of the way and you disarm him. It's the knife is still buried in the shield too.
I will show you what strength is.
And now it's your turn.
Buckalasu is going to immediately bring down his mace.
Okay.
Overhead swing for a 9.
Swing and a miss.
Okay.
You overhead swing, and he very quickly, maybe almost as his arm kind of gets yanked to the side from you twisting the dagger out of his hand, he sidesteps. He kind of stumbles with it, but like also is trying to get out of the way, and your mace hits nothing but air. All right.
Okay.
Degatoga.
I am going to use my movement to approach the one that just took a swing at Buckalasu, and I want to try and grapple him.
Okay.
Hold on, let me get a hang of it. Let's just use keyboard switch easier.
Are you dragging and it's just not moving when you're done dragging?
Yeah, it just ain't moving.
Huh.
I'll just use WS and D.
That's fine.
That's a competing strength check, right?
He gets strength or dexterity. You get strength. Of course, he's using strength anyway because his dex sucks. But
I will. Where is my checks? 1 strength.
if you're using your character sheet, it's just at the top there. Yeah.
That is a 14.
All right. Oh, that's a 19. Okay. Yeah, you go in for the grapple. He immediately stretches out both of his arms, grabs you by your wrists, and just kind of holds you in place. This guy's actually pretty tough. Given the tent he walked out of, that doesn't seem that seems sort of obvious. Okay. Sire Cat.
All right, I'm gonna move and go after the one coming up from the.
Okay. That is a hit. All right. A 10. Yeah, you run up on him. Take his head off, like not cleanly, but you basically hit him in the side of his head. Hear a snap deep in his spine, and he just flings to the side there and crashes against that tent. The tent gives a little bit, but not enough for him to go all the way through it, and he's fucking dead. Good hit. This is really not looking well for the tribalists. That was that guy does not get a turn. He's dead. All right, Tanazol.
Okay, seeing that guy's dead now, we want the other guy alive, right? Will you settle for unconscious?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Okay, basically.
Well, he doesn't have to be alive, but
Well, basically, I was just gonna like run up and just
smash him in his face with my fist and just knock him out.
You're talking about that guy up there?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right, that actually misses. So you run up, you basically go toe to toe with this guy who is pretty muscular, but not nearly as much as you. And he just brings his arm up, parries like a boss, and stops you cold in your tracks there. All right, it's his turn now.
Sorry, does unarmed
Actually,
get 2 attacks with that? Or...
You know what? Because he's grappling him, I'm gonna give you advantage to that roll because that should count as. So roll one more
Another
time.
one.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't give yourself advantage to this one. Just
Yeah,
roll. Yeah.
It'll be technically flanking.
Yeah. Exactly.
There
That
we
does hit. That does hit. Yeah. Go ahead.
Cool. And that just takes a straight 1 plus strength modifier, so 5 damage.
Okay. Yeah, you actually get up there. He's still holding on to Degatola's arms, and you just pop him upside his head. It just snaps to the side. You can see his knees go a little weak there, but he holds control as much as he can. All right, now it's his turn. He basically is gonna try to kick Degatoga and kind of shove him away. Let's see. That does not hit, though. That's
That
not
is
going
not
to do
a
it.
hit, no.
He
Imagine
basically
just like putting my shield in front of me, just headbutts.
yeah. He kicks, and you kind of bring your arms in while he's holding on to them, and it just pushes him just back far enough. You guys are in this really crazy, desperate struggle, and he's not winning. He's not winning. But since you're this is risky, but since you didn't successfully grapple him, he's gonna try to run away to get his axe, but you do get a attack of opportunity against him while he disengages with you, basically. So go ahead. And actually, that's for both of you, both Tanazol and Degatoga. Both of you get.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Would mine have to be unarmed in some?
Yeah. If you're unarmed, you don't have enough time to pull out a new
Yeah.
weapon for it.
Okay.
I'll take first, that's alright.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
fine.
that's fine.
Closer. This is with the battle axe, by the way. That's a 13.
That actually misses. He's wearing bone armor, so as you swing around at his backside, basically, your axe digs into the bones, and you can hear the bones crack pretty hard. But you could definitely hear some bones snapping, but unfortunately, they're not his bones. Okay, Tanazol. Same. Yeah.
No.
You swing. He's just a little too quick for you. And he gets to that axe, and he's no longer unarmed, and he turns back around and is just kind of waits for what's coming next. Buck.
Boogalasu is going to charge after him, and as he's running towards him, say, "Your time is at an end, you and your people," and then take a swing with his shield for an improvised strike. I'll just roll it as unarmed. If that's cool with you.
Yeah.
All right. And he rolls a 14.
That does not hit. You smash him with your with the shield, and it causes him to stumble back a foot, but it does not really get past his armor.
Okay.
The fact that bone armor is a 16 is just horrible, because I've got a shield, so I've got 18. Like, I have no right to be this tough.
If you want, I can give you Buck, I can give you an extra hit with your main weapon if you want, just because improvised weapon
sure.
with your offhand, it seems likely that you could get a actual attack into.
So after he pushes him back with his shield, he's going to come along the side with his mace and sweep low to high. And
That's
does
not gonna do it.
very well. No.
you swing and you completely miss. Maybe it's from your initial shove. He steps back just a little too easily, and your weapon goes way wide. All right, Degatoga.
I'm going to move forward again.
Okay.
We'll get there.
If
I'm
you
gonna
just
take
want him to
strike.
be like right there, I can just move it for you.
Yeah, my line is just not working.
Yeah,
I'll
it's
have to look at
okay.
it in a second. I'm going to take a swing. Ooh. Do we want him alive or do we want him dead at this point? So I'm thinking either way I can...
Well, I don't mind killing him, but everyone else seemed to want to keep him alive and get him surrendering. But
Opinions, if I may ask, you guys?
I ask in character just so we can have. I want
Okay,
I want
I'm
the
gonna
tribalist to
try
be
and-
able to hear this. If
Can
you're
I
gonna...
try and intimidate him again to surrender?
Sure.
okay, well, Tanzanol just growls behind him, saying, "Just take his head."
Sire's going to yell across the field and just
That is a
start yelling,
9.
"Here, kitty, kitty, kitty."
Surrender or die.
Die! And he's just ready to wind up and pop you one. It's not his turn yet. But...
Can I smack you with my shield? Just see if I can knock him over the cliff.
Yeah, sure.
How did you unarmed strike again from this? I can't actually remember.
It should be easier now.
Inventory.
It's equipped now. He's using the hot bar, so it's
Okay.
has to be a equipped weapon to work. But it is now. I equipped it for you.
That is a 9.
yeah,
I'll take
you-
that as a no.
You basically lunge with your shield, and he doesn't even have to move out of the way. It's just kind of a wild swing, and it completely misses. Okay, Sire Cap.
Yeah, he's going to run up and swing, just yelling, "Kitty, kitty, kitty," the whole time.
Okay, you get advantage on this one because you're flanking. The roll's not working, or
Yeah, it's not. Oh, I got it. Hold on.
okay. You can also F5 and refresh if there's an issue there. Yeah, that hits. Yeah, that does a good amount of damage. Yeah, you finish him. Describe it.
Just thoroughly impressed that I found the battle cry that works for the hammer.
Mm-hmm.
Whack him straight against the side of his head. Just aiming to take his head off.
You going right to left or left to right?
From my stance, I'm going left to right.
Okay. You easily avoid Degatoga and just crack him over the head. Fling him off this cliff. His head is barely attached to his body at this point, and he just collapses in a heap of blood down the edge of that cliff. And that was the final guy. So combat mode is over.
I'll just look down the cliff and say good kitty.
All right. So what do you guys want to do now? You kind of look around a little bit. There's nobody left alive in here. The fire that you started goes out relatively quickly. There's not a ton inside there that's super flammable, so it doesn't stick around forever. But the pretty much that thing is rubble at this point. It's just, well, not rubble. It's like ruins, bones and leather and whatnot.
So Bugalasu is going to kneel where he is, face the sun, and place his hands together, taking some of the blood that he had acquired from combat, and then rub it over his face. And while the light of the sun is shining on him, cure wounds is going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to cure himself.
Nice.
For... Ooh, not very much. 4 damage.
That's
4 HP.
better than nothing.
Yeah.
While he's doing that, Tanzanol's gonna go and start picking up any daggers, axes, anything like that that's been left by the recently dead. Always need more weapons for throwing.
Yeah, absolutely. So you guys kind of root around in the camp, and you find go ahead and roll. Each of you roll. What do you want to roll for looting and stuff? You want to roll what? Perception?
I'd say perception or investigation.
Investigation.
Yeah.
Let's go with
I'm
investigation.
assuming there's literally no one left in this camp, right?
Everybody's dead. There were some people who fled. You noticed 2 people ran out the front gate. 1 person jumped into the river. But there's no one left in the camp.
Yeah, that's a 12 on my investigation.
Was it a choice for perception or just investigation?
Just investigation, yeah.
Okay. 12 for Buka.
Okay, so Sire Cap, you find a variety of simple weapons. You find some spears, nothing very nice. You find some daggers made out of bone and stone and that sort of thing. Nothing to write home about. But if there's something from like the simple melee weapon chart that you want, just let me know and we can add it. Let's see.
I'll take a couple daggers, but I want to head over to the 3 that I took off, and I want to start scalping them.
Okay, right on. Sure. So you're up to shit. How many daggers do you want? You're up to 3 right now, unless you dropped one of them.
I'll just take 2 more.
Okay, you're up to 5 daggers. And some scalps. Tan is all kind of the same thing. You're not really finding anything to write home about. You find some simple melee weapons. So if you want something, just let me know. Pretty much whatever you want.
I'll make a couple of javelin type things if I can find them.
Yeah, absolutely. We could say you found 2 decent javelins worth picking up. So we'll bump you up to 6 there. And Degatoga, with your 12, you find some decent stuff. You find an obsidian hand axe, and a battle axe, not made of obsidian, just like a normal battle axe. And you find their food stores. So you've got, if you guys want to pick up, you can pick up to 20 rations, so 20 days worth of food per, like.
God, we're absolutely gluttonous for food here.
You
we
can never
already
have
don't
too
need to
much
eat,
food.
and we have extra rations as well. This is brilliant.
And then collectively, you guys find like 5 torches, find 5 bundles of primitive rope, which kind of replaces your broken rope. And then
Bukalasu is going to investigate the large tent that he burnt down.
Okay.
And look for any religious symbols, any iconography that might be related to, that he recognizes from the gods. And then after that, climb down and check the who might have been someone of stature in the tribe. Check that corpse for any iconography. He's looking to investigate what gods they serve.
Yeah. So you don't. You find a little bit here and there. The problem with symbols and stuff is every tribe is quite a bit different in their belief system. Everybody kind of believes in the same 8 gods, but like what they think about them often is has very little in common with each other, aside from Illuven as the sun god and you know that sort of thing. But you see these guys seem to be big on like making little dolls and statuettes and figures of out of bones, and they're probably of either old heroes or maybe the gods. You find one that it's like a painting on a piece of hide that looks like it's of the moon, and you find a in the big tent that you burned down. You find some stuff that kind of burned down with it. There's a short bow in there that's no use anymore. But you find kind of a interesting object. You find a small, unpolished crystal about maybe half the length of your pinky nail. It's not very big at all.
The color of it, is it the same as the one from the dream?
So it's not red. It's yellow, but holding it up to kind of the dying flames of the tent, it does seem to catch the light a little bit, and you notice some yellow, some orange, some red. It kind of it gives you kind of those vibes. What's most interesting about it as you're looking down at it is it's a little warm to the touch, which maybe makes sense given the fire. But when you squeeze your fist around it to see if it seems to be any warmer than that, it actually kind of makes your hand buzz with this sensation that he wouldn't have any other reference point for, but just for your own thought process, it's sort of like sticking your tongue to a 9-volt battery, but in his palm. And
he's gonna take out some more mushrooms and he's gonna consume a little bit. 'Cause he feels like this is a very meaningful item that he needs to understand through visions, but he'll take it and leave the tent.
Okay. As you start to get higher and higher, there's a little notch in your religious symbol on your necklace, and you'd probably need a little bit of glue or something to bind it to it, but it kind of gives you the idea to maybe you could stick that little nugget of crystal in that little notch right in the center of your stone medallion, and
ideas that you get when you're high are the best ideas.
Yeah.
So he's gonna absolutely do that.
Degatoga, roll a dexterity saving throw for me.
I'm worried now. That is a straight 9.
Okay, that's not great. 1 second.
Worst thing for the DM to say. Top 10. That's not great.
It's not the worst thing in the world either. But it's not, it's not great. So as soon as you kind of jam this crystal in there, and it seems like it's staying, you put it back on, and your hands kind of clenching around it, and completely not of your own volition, you cast Word of Radiance, and
Of course he does.
and it just explodes around you and immediately hits Degatoga. Degatoga, I think you get a. Do you get
Dexterity.
a saving?
It's a Constitution saving throw 13.
Yeah, go ahead. Roll a Constitution saving throw.
I rolled a 6 on the damage. You're welcome.
Nice.
What kind of damage is it?
It's 1d6. Okay, well,
That's a straight 14.
yeah. So I think is it half damage or is it no damage?
It's no damage on
It's-
save, yeah.
Okay, cool. So
Because it's a cantrip.
basically, this it's pure yellow light, like from the sun itself, erupts around Bucklesu's body, scares the living shit out of you. You feel the heat coming off of it. You stumble backwards. You are thankfully a tough guy wearing bone armor and you know you got your nice leather cape.
I'm gonna throw up my shield. And just
Throw, yeah, you throw, you take it. It kind of burns, but you're okay. But this catches all three of you way off guard. This is even the Bone Man has never cast a spell like this before. This is
We are on the path, brothers. This is the way.
and okay. So I'll give you guys.
It's a Mandalorian reference here.
Oh, is that what that was? I missed it. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Unintentionally, I said it earlier as I was like, all right, fuck it, we're going with this.
This is the way. That's right.
This is the way.
So I'll give you guys a list of items after the session. The big standouts from it is the battle axe, the obsidian hand axe, and the healer's kit. So you guys could decide how you want to distribute it. If you just want to go by whoever found it gets it. That's why I kind of did it the way that I did it. But it's however you guys want to do it.
I'm going to give the obsidian hand axe to my son because I cannot throw for shit.
Gotcha.
And I'm going to call it a gift for his first kill in battle, seeing as he definitely speared that woman.
Thank you, Father. And I'll take it from her and I'll look it over, rub the dust off the blade, and I'll stick it in my belt.
And as for the other battle axe, I'm going to basically offer it to who wants it, seeing as I already
Have one. Yeah. Does anybody else want it?
I've already got one as well.
If
Look, it
not,
doesn't need it.
if not, I'll strap it to my belt and keep it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's always nice to have a spare.
Buck, do you want it?
No, Buck is he's fine on what he's got, thank you.
Okay, cool. Then Degatoga, you got two of those now. All right, and then the healer's kit. Who wants that? I don't know if any of you have medicine.
No, I didn't take it.
No, I've
I'm
already got
good.
herbalism.
I've got medicine.
Sire cap. Okay.
Yeah, I can take the medicine.
All right.
But I am gonna walk up to Buck and say this is the second time that I've seen you glow. I'm beginning to worry.
Leuven is working through me. I don't understand it either.
I'm here when you need me.
And you all you're not really sure what any of this means. You're not really sure exactly what the next step is beyond maybe continuing to travel northeast. And I think that's where we'll call it today.
Nice.
Well,
Thanks for
lovely.
thanks for running, Gambit. That was great, man.
Well done,
Brilliant.
guys.
Absolutely loved it, mate.
Great. Yeah. Awesome.
I like my hammer.
I cannot believe my crazy ass idea worked, but still.
No, you guys did awesome. I thought it was great. If you guys want, we can stick around and do after. We can chat about the session a little bit with chat and everything, or if you guys want to go to bed or whatever you guys want to
I
do.
will happily do that.
I'm more than happy to visit.
Yeah. If Friday, I'll give you another chance to shout out your stuff. But if any of you have anything you want to shout out that you're working on, or promote your Twitter handles or Twitch, whatever you guys want. Just yeah, take a second. We can start with you, Friday. I know you have something. I don't know if the other guys do.
Oh yeah. Well, if you guys are interested in chat, I am on a Wednesday stream. I play a half-drow Oath of the Conquest Paladin in a different homebrew stream on HP to XP. If you want to check us out and on Wednesday nights, thank you.
And I'll do a little shout out in chat for that too. There you go. Go check him out, guys. What about the rest of you? Got anything or?
Personally, I got nothing.
Yeah, I mean, there's no pressure. I just want to give you guys an opportunity if you did have something.
Yeah, what's your personal Facebook so people can add you?